The pillows are fluff thanks to Miss Emily. The couch is wide enough, join the family. It's all love while we laugh at Perp's criminalities. Hey, 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 welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup at hey, hey, hey. Come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Can't roll my damn eyes hard enough. Oh, please, the puppies need me. Ooh, oh, please, my body is rejecting none of that fancy credential stuff. I'm just here for the cringe binge. Hey, 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 welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup and hey, hey, hey. Come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Can't roll my damn eyes hard enough. Oh please, the puppies need me. Oh please, my body is rejecting none of that fancy credentialed stuff. I'm just here for the cringe binge. Hey, 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 welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup that hey, hey, hey. Come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Can't roll my damn eyes hard enough.
Hey, hey, hey. Welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup and hey, hey, hey. Come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Hello, Shayna, Shayna. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for that one, Tori. Good morning, Tori. Good morning, Emily. Good morning, Shayna. Hey, K-Love. Hey, Ginger. How is everybody doing today? Hey, Carly. Hey, Paula. Hey, Ginger. I hope you all are well. So, y'all, what we're doing is, thanks for being a member for 12 whole months. That is an honor, K-Love. What we are doing today, jury selection is, okay, Shayna just sent this to me. Thank you, Shayna. Please hold. All right, hold on. Okay, y'all, please hold. We have breaking news over here from Shayna. We've got breaking news from Shayna. Okay, y'all, so what we could do is this. Well, let's do a poll. Do we want to watch jury selection? Or do we want to do a recap and watch the hearing that they had where police officers were testifying? Please let me know in the comment section. Thank you, Avery, for being a member for 14 months. I hope you have a safe drive to West Virginia. Jessa, how are you doing? What's going on? You know what? I'm going to come over here and do a recap. Hold on. I said, "Ho, please. The puppies need me. Ho, please. None of that fancy credentialed stuff. Just here for the cringe binge." I mean, I've got that stuck in my head today, y'all. Hardcore. Hardcore. Okay, let me come over here. Please hold. This is very important stuff. Okay. Okay. Y'all, it's been cold and hot here. I can't, y'all. Dun, dun, dun. Please just talk amongst yourselves while I prepare this little poll that we're going to do. Hello, you just... Come. Oh, come. Oh, thank you, K-Love, for that super chat. I do appreciate you. Okay, we're in the poll area now. I'm going to start dancing on the pole. Watch a recap or jury selection today. Recap, jury selection. Bam. There we go. Okay, how about that? Shibbity-doo. Okay, so let's let that sit for a second. So if we do a what do you call it? jury selection, or I'm sorry, recap. We're going to watch a hearing part of it because it's like a 4-hour hearing. So we'll speed it up and watch a couple hours of it. And then we'll finish it like maybe Thursday. Because I'm not going to be here tomorrow. But it's where officers were testifying and all this kind of stuff. And jury selection will just kind of be like jury selection, whatever. Now, also what I was planning on doing is possibly going live tonight to do my read through of jury selection. Like, you know, how people tweet and stuff like that or whatever. So there's that. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind when you cast your vote, but really, honestly, whichever one is fine. And essentially what I'm planning on doing is like a couple of hours this morning and then, you know, going to start my day or whatever. Once the actual trial starts, we will be streaming the whole thing. Now, unless I have like, you know, I got a doctor's appointment or whatever, clearly, you know, that will take precedence. But I mean, you know, I don't want to disappoint y'all or nothing. Okay. You know, I'm just saying. Shooba-dooba-doo, shooba-dooba. Yep, I got my pole dancing. Bless my heart, y'all. If I had, you know how you can do the pole dancing for exercise, I would rip it out of the thing. I think if I tried it, well, number one, my hip wouldn't let me do it. I'd be like the discount pole dancer. You know what I'm saying? They'd be like, that's the Dented Goods pole dancer over there. It'd be all ripped out of the ceiling, hip thrown out. Oh my goodness. So Jessa, I need to scroll back up to see how you said you're doing because I think I missed it. My auntie is going to do just I've been doing labor and up in the hand. Okay, cool. So that part's cool for you. And then where's Jessa up here? Everything. Oh, I already said it. Okay, I'm scrolling back up. Hey Kay, how's it going? Shoo-ba-doo-doo-ba-doo-doo-doo. So I'm trying to think what else is going on. So on the main channel, the videos coming up are going to be about the Dima Tower trial. Also, Nicholas Rossi, author night, whatever you want to call that man. I've done a couple of big reactions. It'll be 2 parts because it's too long to do one. Those will be coming up. And then tonight I'm going to record my, hey Amanda, I'm going to record my Brian Walshe thing for the main channel. Pardon me, and start going over that, whatever. Oh, now also, Shayna, are you here? Hold on, please hold. Shayna, will you type the name of your book in the chat room again for me? I can't remember what the name of it is. The other day we were talking in the members chat about the Alec Murdoch Hulu series, yada yada yada. And I was talking to, I don't know who, maybe Shayna or Emily or whatever. And I was like, my TikTok algorithm is nothing but people who have just been introduced to the Alec Murdoch case through the Hulu series. And there's like a rekindling, getting back into the, did he do it? This, that, the other, whatever. Blah, 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 blah. So Shayna wrote a book with one of the jurors from the trial to give insight into this is what they saw as a juror, and this is how they arrived at the guilty verdict. Will you drop the name of it in the thing, Shayna? It's available on all platforms, but highly interesting. I know, you know what, in cases I'm so annoyed by being way ahead of Hulu, Lifetime, etc. I know. Well, because it's interesting because it's like different segments, and this is one thing that I see happens when things make it to major platforms. It starts into the, well, you know how they do a narrative, right? Now, I'm not trying to say there could be, I'm all for theories. I mean, that's what we do here. Pardon me. But it's usually like with Netflix and Hulu and all these, it's they're innocent. You know what I mean? They're wrongly convicted, or this didn't go right, or, you know, all those kind of things. And they leave out a lot of stuff that is like, if you watch the trials from start to finish, now granted, you can watch it start to finish, everybody has a different opinion, right? So, you know, it is what it is. It's shooby do. What are we doing there now? Okay, let's go check in on this real quick over here. I said shoobity doobity do. Yeah, making a murder. It just says kind of like making a murder, and that one still confuses me. Same girl. That one was like that was when I entered into YouTube world, like around that era, like kind of after it, like that one blew up. That was another case that blew up on YouTube, right? And it was like, I mean, channels were made off of it. People were ready to go to war with each other. Crazy stuff, right? And I have no idea. I couldn't tell you. There's so much information about that case. I've gone down every rabbit hole on it, and every time that's one of those cases where every time I go down, I'm like, yeah, this is what I think, and then I'll look at these other things, but yeah, no, this is what I think, and I haven't revisited that case in years, because of that very reason. Now, hold on one second before you start. Yeah, I've noticed my house doesn't clean itself either, and somehow by the end of every day, pardon me, um, it's messy again. Not even that, like, for me going from the bedroom to make coffee, I'm like, "How'd the house get destroyed?" I blame Bobo. Um, yeah, Emily says about the Hulu series on the Murdochs, develop some empathy for Paul. Protagonist kind of come to terms with his past and do better. That was the vibe I got from it too, and I'm I would love to know if that's really how that went. If that's really how it went. Um, so we'll, you know, I would love to find that out. Alex wanted to cover man, he's probably capable of let go. Yeah, agree, Tori. Hey, Em, how's it going? Wait, hold on. I said shoot, shoobity doo doo, shoot, shoobity doo doo. Okay, come here. Are we gonna play this game all morning? Come here. He wants to. He's manipulating. Okay, I get it. He's manipulating me to put the blanket on so he can lay under it. Okay, got it. That's what we're doing. We're manipulating father. Okay, come here. Come here. Oh, oh my gosh. Okay, hold on. This is Shayna's book. Please hold. Okay. So now let's come over here and let's see where we landed. Okay, so everybody's the majority of votes are for our recaps. That's what we'll do. So, and I will say this: while jury selection is interesting, it's also incredibly boring. And we can just quickly go over that in a separate live chat and read through the things because I am interested to hear how that goes, but it's a slow process, right? Now I do think it'll get fiery, but I think this recap thing will be more interesting. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch a hearing. We're going to speed it up. We're going to watch about half of it today and then half of it Thursday. And we're just going to kind of pick out the interesting aspects of this to go over leading up to trial and just kind of like getting all the tea on it and whatnot so that we have a full understanding of that. You know, again, this is Brian Walshe. Jury selection is in progress, starts today, going on right now. The trial starts December 1st, opening statements expected to go 3 to 4 weeks. Now, obviously, you know, we got holidays, stuff like that. So we'll see, you know, how these things go. They either go way longer or way less, right? We are going to now watch a law enforcement testifies and Brian Walshe hearing. And let me show it on the screen so y'all can. Oh, pardon me. I say, hey. Did anybody watch Nate Eaton last night interview Mr. Hottie Patati judge? Nate Eaton did a thing on one of his social medias where he listed all the like saucy names that people have given the judge, and it was like, you know, like that, like Mr. Hottie Judge, and he was like, these are all the comments, the names that y'all have given this man. It was so funny. Well, I heard he couldn't talk about the trial, and while I'm interested to hear about his life, like, I'm gonna listen to it in the car type situation, you know what I'm saying? As opposed to, like, let me listen to it, say, make a reaction to it or whatever, because I am interested in hearing about him. Yet Judge McDreamy, Emily says, like, I mean, he's just kind of got, like, you know, a little bit of a heartthrob look to him, and his personality to me makes him even more attractive. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, he's a very handsome man. Okay, so here we go. I swear, here we go. I promise.
I solemnly swear or affirm the testimony shall provide in the matter now and herein shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God under the pains and penalties of perjury. Please have a seat in that witness stand. Just keep your voice up nice and loud.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. If I had to tell you, like, what somebody would look like, if I had to align myself with this is how I would look in court if I was there, it's Brian. Okay, the way he's like, we just got here, that's 100% would be me. Except I would probably be like passed out over there. I think, oh, it's too early for all this. Okay, there we go.
Morning, sir.
Morning, sir.
Could you please state your name and could you please spell your last name for the record?
Gregory Lowrance, spelled Lowrance. And
Hey,
sir, where do
Courtney.
you work?
Cohasset Police Department.
And how long have you worked there?
About 6 years.
And what's your current rank there?
I am a police officer, currently assigned as a school resource officer to the elementary schools there in town.
Okay. Were you working on January 4th of 2023?
Yes, I was.
And for the record, that was a Wednesday that day?
Yes.
So on January 24th on 2023, what was your shift that day?
It was
Sorry, I guess I said the wrong day. January 4th, 2023?
January
Yes.
4th, 2023. Yes.
What was the hours of your shift that day?
8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Okay. Now, sir, as a result of being an officer, were you in uniform that day?
Yes, I was.
Okay. At 11:44 a.m., where were you dispatched?
I was dispatched to 516 Chief Justice Cushing Highway in the town of Cohasset.
Now, Chief Justice Cushing Highway, does that have another designation as far as a roadway?
In town is also known as Route 3A.
And Route 3A, is it busy road, back road? Can you tell me a little bit about it?
It's a state highway, very busy road.
And why were you dispatched to 516 Chief Justice Cushing Highway?
Cohasset Police Dispatch got a call from a male party by the name of Hugh Dunleavy in Washington, D.C., stating that one of his employees has not been seen since the previous Friday.
Okay. Now, do you remember the name of the company he worked for?
Emily.
It was Tishman Spire.
And do you remember the name of the employee that he was calling about?
Anna Walshe.
And did he say where she resided?
She resided in Cohasset.
Thank you, Kay.
And
Hey, Heather.
what did he say about where her vehicle was located?
Her vehicle was located on the property it was last seen on the parking lot logging system on the 29th of December, 2022.
Down in D.C.?
Yes, sir.
And was it explained as far as her relationship to Washington, D.C. and why she had a residence in Cohasset?
She works down in Washington, D.C. and commutes back and forth.
And now, sir, when you got to 516 Chief Justice Cushing Highway, who did you meet there at that residence?
Brian Walshe.
Can you explain to me what happened when you got to the house that day?
I exited my cruiser and he met me at the doorway and said that he wanted to report his wife missing and file a police report with the Cohasset Police.
And what was his demeanor like when you saw him at the doorway?
Very calm.
Now, this initial interaction with Mr. Walsh, was it recorded?
No, it was not.
Why wasn't it recorded?
Cohasset Police did not have body-worn cameras at that time.
And so what had he told you he had done to try and locate his wife at this point in time?
He told me that he had tried texting her and he did contact his employer, her employer.
And what did he tell you as far as the last time he had seen his wife?
It would be Sunday morning, January 1st, 2023, between the hours of 6 a.m. and 7 a.m.
Did he say where she was going after that point?
She had a work emergency and had to go back to Washington, D.C.
Did he say how she was going to leave the home that day?
She was going to take either an Uber or a Lyft.
And head to where, sir?
Logan Airport.
Now, what did he say about his attempts to contact her?
He has attempted to contact her via text, and also he had reached out to coworkers and acquaintances in the D.C. area.
And when she was working in D.C., did he tell you how often he would have contact with her?
He said that usually they would speak frequently, and she would FaceTime with their children.
And did he have any information about where she resided in Washington, D.C. during the week?
They own a townhouse down there.
Did he give you the address?
He did give me the address. I do not know it off the top of my head.
That's okay. And did he give you any information concerning her vehicle in Washington, D.C.?
Yes, she had a vehicle that she kept down there. It was a 2022 gray Volkswagen Taos.
What did he provide you?
Sorry, I missed the end of that. It was a 2022 what?
Volkswagen Taos.
Thank you.
And, sir, did he provide you a physical description of her?
Yes, the description, standing 5'2" in height, about 115 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes.
Now, how long was this interaction with Mr. Walsh at the Walsh home that morning when you went to go see him?
Probably about 20, 30 minutes maybe.
And after that, where'd you go?
I left the residence, and then I did return to the same house later that evening.
Did you have to fill out any documentation after you left the residence?
Yes, I went back to the Costa Police Station and filled out an NCIC missing persons report.
Your Honor, at this point in time, we've already talked about the first 20 exhibits in this book. I'm going to give this to the court, and we can remark these 20 exhibits.
All right, you can, as they come in, if defense counsel wishes to object to any of them, let me know, and we'll deal with them real time.
And Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
You may.
Thank you. Officer, do you recognize the document I just handed to you?
Yes, you did.
What is the document I just handed to you?
There's a missing person report for an NCIC record entry.
And what is an NCIC entry?
It is a database where we can enter information on a missing person that goes out to surrounding police and other law enforcement agencies.
And where did you get the information to fill out that report?
Mr. Walsh.
And that's the report you filled out after meeting with Mr. Walsh at the end of the form?
Correct.
The Commonwealth would seek to have this marked as the next exhibit, which would be 21.
Any objection to that?
No, Your Honor.
The NCIC report of missing persons is now exhibit 21 in evidence.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Now, can I just, sorry to interrupt. Is that the same one as Exhibit 4 that's on the list? I apologize. I didn't. It is the same one as Exhibit 4. My bad. We put that in last time. My apologies, Your Honor. It's already been marked as Exhibit 4.
It's fine. I take judicial notice that 4 and 21 are the same. Thanks for pointing that out, so I don't look for a difference.
And I don't need to give it any more weight than necessary to putting it in points.
All right, that's fine. It won't give any more weight.
You know, he loved pointing that out, right? He was just like, I'm not trying to be a certain way, but yeah, did we already do this? Oh, thank you, Kay, for becoming a member. Okay, got you, Emily. I do the opposite. There we go. He loved doing that. He was putting him up front straight. The defense lawyer is definitely saucy. Okay, definitely saucy.
Can I have the binder?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Sure.
Officer, what information did Cohasset PD have at this point in time from Mr. Dunleavy as far as the last time Ms. Walsh had been seen at her workplace?
They had a record of her on their security system on the 29th of December.
And what was the information that Cohasset PD had at this time as far as the last time Ms. Walsh's car was recorded entering or exiting a Tishman-Speyer facility in Washington, D.C.?
Is recorded on the parking lot logging system at right around 5 a.m. on the 30th of December.
And what information did Mr. Dunleavy as far as the accessibility to getting to Reagan International Airport?
She can easily access the airport via train from that location.
What did Cohasset PD do that afternoon as far as attempting to locate Ms. Walsh's cell phone?
A ping was ordered by Costa Police from her cell phone provider.
And, sir, are you aware of the last time, according to that? Well, first, what is a ping?
A ping is the process of determining the last activity of a cell phone by having it send a signal to a nearby cell phone tower.
Okay. Now, sir, when was the last time, according to the information that was received for the request for the ping, that Ms. Walsh's phone interacted with a tower?
It was 3:14 a.m. on January 2nd, 2023.
And do you know the location of the tower it had contact with?
Yes, it was on Reservoir Road in Cohasset.
Now, that tower, how close is that to the family home for the Walsh?
About a quarter of a mile.
And how were you able to identify the provider for Ms. Walsh's cell phone?
Mr. Walsh advised me of the provider of the cell phone.
And is that also how you got the phone number?
Yes, sir.
Now, did Mr. Walsh provide you any information concerning what airline Anna Walsh was going to fly that morning on January 1st?
Yes, sir.
What did he say?
She was flying with JetBlue airline.
And what did Cohasset PD do that afternoon to find out if Ms. Anna Walsh had flown on JetBlue?
We contacted Massachusetts State Troopers assigned to the Logan Airport barracks to inquire with JetBlue, and they advised them that they had no record of ever flying with JetBlue that morning.
And what is it that Cohasset PD did that afternoon to contact the carrier Uber to see if it had had any contact with Anna Walsh on January 1st?
We did a records request with Uber, and they had no records of any pickups or drop-offs from 516 Chief Justice Cushing Highway in Cohasset.
And, sir, also, what was done as far as Cohasset PD attempting to contact law enforcement in Washington, D.C. to locate Anna Walsh?
Washington, D.C. Metropolitan Police Department was contacted to check the townhouse where Anna stays when she's working down there, and they entered it with Mr. Walsh's permission and did not find any signs of forced entry, and Anna was not there.
Did you ever have the opportunity on January 4th, that Wednesday, to return back to 516 Chief Justice Cushing Highway?
Yes, I did.
About what time did you return?
I think it was shortly after 6:30 p.m.
And who returned with you to the residence?
Then Detective Harrison Schmidt,
And who was at the house when you arrived at the residence?
Mr. Walsh and his 3 children.
And do you now know the ages of those 3 children on January 4th?
At that point, they were ages 2, 4, and 6, respectively.
And besides the children and Mr. Walsh, was anyone else home at that point in time at the family residence?
No, there was not.
Were there any pets at the residence at this point in time?
There was a large German Shepherd locked in a cage.
And when you got to the residence, what is it that you and then Detective Schmidt did with Mr. Walsh?
We sat down and did a recorded interview.
So where did this interview occur in the Walsh home?
It was at a dining room table downstairs.
Were you still in uniform at this point in time?
Yes, sir, I was.
And when you were recording the interview, what access did Mr. Walsh have to his children during this point in time?
They were running around the floor freely.
And sir, have you had the opportunity to review the audio of that interview?
Yes, sir, I have.
And it fairly and accurately recorded the interview that you had that night?
Yes, sir, it does.
In addition, you also had the opportunity to review the transcript of that interview, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Is it an accurate transcript of that interview?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, those are exhibits 2 and 3 in the binder.
Any objection to those?
How long did the interview last?
I think it was a little under 1 hour.
During that interview, did Mr. Walsh say when his wife Anna had flown home to Cohasset? I'll end it there.
Yes. Friday morning, December 30th.
And what did he do as far as showing you her travel arrangements?
He opened up the JetBlue app and showed us her flight information.
And when you say he opened up the JetBlue app, what device was he showing you this from?
An iPhone.
And in his hands, correct?
Yes.
All right. And when he showed you the iPhone, did he say anything else as far as your access to the iPhone?
He turned to Detective Schmidt and said something along the lines of, "It's all there, you can look."
And when was it that she was initially supposed to, she being Anna Walsh, initially supposed to fly back to Washington, D.C.?
Tuesday.
What did he provide you as far as information as what Anna Walsh did on December 31st, 2022?
He said that Anna ran some errands and took the children to a play area in Canton.
And what did he say was what he and Anna Walsh did that evening, New Year's Eve, on December 22nd and December 31st, 2022?
They had one of their friends over for dinner.
What was the friend's name?
First name was Jem.
Okay. What time did they say that this person came over to their house?
Approximately 8:30 p.m.
Did anyone else come over for dinner that night?
No.
And where were the children that night?
They were in bed when Jem arrived.
What time did he say that the family friend left?
Right around 1 a.m.
And what time did he say that he and his wife went to bed that evening?
1:30 a.m.
What did Mr. Walsh tell you that Anna had informed him about her having to leave the next day?
A work emergency came up and she had to leave first thing in the morning.
And what did he say to you as far as how she would get to the airport that morning?
Be an Uber or a Lyft.
And what time did he say that she left?
Between the hours of 6 a.m. and 7 a.m.
Did he provide any information as far as the clothing she was wearing?
She was wearing a black coat, gray and blue hunter boots, and a black Prada purse.
During this interview, did Mr. Walsh provide you any information about Anna Walsh's stress level at this point in time in their lives?
Yes, there was a lot of stress in their lives from her commuting back and forth to work.
Was there anything else that she was stressed about, according to Mr. Walsh?
No.
During the interview, did any of the children produce anything?
One of the children, I do not recall which one, asked Mr. Walsh to unlock an iPad for him.
Was he able to do it?
Yes, he was.
And what happened when he unlocked? Did he say anything when he unlocked the iPad?
He typed in a code and said the code out loud.
Do you remember the code?
121212.
And did the children provide any belongings of Anna Walsh during the interview?
They found a sunglass case with sunglasses inside it that Brian said belonged to her.
Now, after this interview, what did you do as far as looking around the house?
With Mr. Walsh's permission, myself, Mr. Walsh, and Detective Schmidt looked around the house just for any potential clues that could help us find Anna.
And when you were inside the house, did you see anything unordinary that was a potential clue for you?
I did not.
What access did you have to the attic?
We did not check the attic.
And that night, did you search the outside of the house?
Yes, sir.
And what did you notice as far as the pool?
It was uncovered, which was strange for this time of year.
And what about the water level?
The water level was high. It was filled.
And did you do anything to look into the water of the pool?
At that time, we shined our flashlights in, but we could not see much. So later on that night, we did request the fire department to respond.
What did you see the fire department do?
They had high-powered spotlights that they shined in, and also they used a large pole to scrape the bottom of the pool.
And was anything recovered when that was done?
No, sir.
Now, that night, did you have the opportunity to see any vehicles that belonged to the Walsh family at the residence?
Yes, sir. There was a Volvo SUV in the driveway.
And did you have the opportunity to look inside the Volvo SUV?
I did look from the outside, yes.
And what, if anything, did you notice about the Volvo SUV?
I only saw one thing. It was in the trunk. It was a folded-up plastic sheet.
That night, did you go into the basement at all?
Yes, I did.
And what did you notice about the basement?
It was fairly clean. Just a refrigerator, a couple boxes of miscellaneous items, and a few full trash bags.
And Your Honor, may I have a moment?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Nothing further.
Ask Sam.
Morning.
Morning.
Do you have any conversations with a district attorney named Lynn Beelan regarding this case?
I did not.
Do you have any conversations with a trooper named Buchanan regarding this case?
I did not.
Did you have any conversations with anyone regarding this case and any agreement purportedly made by Mr. Walsh to turn over his cell phone?
I did not.
When you talked on direct examination about Mr. Walsh showing you his phone, he was showing you what? Text messages?
He was showing us text messages and also pictures and flight information.
So the pictures were of what? Anna Walshe and Jim, the friend?
I did not look at him. Detective Schmidt looked at him at that time.
Okay. And he did not show you anything other than those three items.
Not me personally.
And he didn't invite you to look at his phone for anything like location data or anything of the sort.
Not me personally.
And when you say you personally, what do you mean by that? Not me
He
personally.
did not have me look at anything. I do not know if he gave Detective Schmidt any.
You don't. You were present, though, later on in the evening with Detective Schmidt, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you've reviewed that transcript, correct?
Yes, sir.
It's fair to say that nowhere in that transcript that was conducted of the interview on January 4th in the evening hours, is there any reference to Mr. Walshe saying you can look at my phone to look at search data, location data, anything of the sort, is it?
Not that I recall.
Okay. That's all I have.
Any redirect?
No, you're wrong.
The witness may step down. Thank you.
Okay, consider yourself right here. Listen quick. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you shall provide in the matter now and here and shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God under the pains and penalties of perjury.
I do.
Please have a seat in the witness stand. Just keep your voice up nice and loud. Thank you. May I, Your Honor?
You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Sir, could you state your name and please tell us your last name?
Harrison Schmidt, SCHMIDT,
And where do you work, sir?
Cohasset Police Department,
And how long have you worked there?
13 years,
What is your current rank there?
Sergeant.
When did you become a sergeant?
Early January 2023,
What was your rank as of January 4th, 2023?
detective.
With the Cohasset Police Department, how many officers are on that PD?
About 22,
And how many detectives are there?
one detective and one detective supervisor.
As a detective, what were your responsibilities?
General investigations.
And in addition to being a detective at Cohasset Police Department, were you affiliated with any of the law enforcement agencies?
I'm a member of the MetroLec SWAT team.
And can you describe for us what MetroLec is, sir?
It's a consortium of departments that share resources and personnel to form specialized teams.
And within the SWAT team, do they have any function as far as searches?
They do. They have a search and rescue team.
And what involvement do you have with that?
If they need searchers, they will pull from the SWAT team.
And, sir, how many fatal investigations have you worked?
Dozens,
And how many missing person cases have you worked?
just over a dozen probably.
And have you been able to locate all of those people?
No.
How many of those people have been deceased when you've done an investigation?
Several.
And what were some of the reasons for why they were deceased?
Medical issues, suicide, exposure to the elements.
Now, are you familiar with the investigation to the disappearance of Anna Walshe?
Yes.
And how are you familiar with that investigation?
I was called in to assist patrol in a missing persons investigation.
When was that?
The 4th of January,
About what time?
3 or 3:30.
And when you say you were called in, where did you go as a result of being called in?
I went to Cohasset Police headquarters.
And when you got to the Cohasset Police headquarters, what did you do as far as trying to set up an interview with Mr. Walshe?
I tried to coordinate an interview for that night.
And were you able to?
Yes.
What time did you set up the interview for?
6 or 6:30 p.m.
And why was it 3 hours after you got to the station?
He had to get dinner for his children.
Now, that afternoon, sir, did you do anything to try and locate Ms. Walshe?
Yes.
What were you trying to do?
I reviewed the reports I coordinated with the patrol officers that initially responded. I performed queries through law enforcement databases, and then I went to the residence.
Now, I have just a few questions about that January 4th interview. At the January 4th interview with Mr. Walshe, what interaction did you have with him as far as him showing you his cell phone?
He gave me a cell phone to look at.
And what did he say?
He said there was about a year of text messages with Anna Walshe that I could look at, and about 1,000 photographs.
And did you look at the phone that night?
I did.
For about how long?
3 to 5 minutes.
And that night, did you have the opportunity to make any observations of any of the cars at the family home?
Yes.
What car did you look at?
There's a Volvo XC90.
And did you get any permission to look at that car?
Yes.
And who'd you get the permission from?
Mr. Walshe.
And what did you notice about the Volvo?
In the trunk, the trunk was lined with like plastic sheeting.
And so were you able to open it at this point in time?
Yes.
Okay. Now, sir, fast forwarding to January 5th, which was a Thursday, what did you do to try and locate Ms. Walshe that day?
I did a lot that day.
Let me just go back for a second.
I apologize.
There was I'll do this from time to time. There was a plastic sheet, you said lining the rear area?
Yes.
Is that a trunk or is it more like an open area in the rear of an SUV?
The trunk area is a SUV with a hatch.
Mhm.
So the trunk area, not the seating area.
Okay, thanks.
So
Okay.
not like a sedan, though, which would have a separate distinct trunk. It has access to the seats.
Correct. If the seats would fold down, you could go from the trunk into the back row.
So I'll call it a traditional SUV configuration.
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
So I was asking you about January 5th and what you did to try and locate Ms. Walshe on the 5th. Could you explain to us some of the things you did that morning?
I created and disseminated a missing persons bulletin. I began coordinating with friends and family. I checked for international travel and put a flag on her passport if she attempted to do international travel. I coordinated with taxi companies and rideshare and her employer.
Now, was anything done as far as canine searches of the area around the Walshe home?
Yes.
Can you describe for me what was done?
The Cohasset Police Canine and handler searched the property.
And the Walshe property, can you describe how it's situated in relation to the roadway?
It's on Route 3A. It's a long driveway set back behind a used auto dealership. It's surrounded by woods. Maybe a quarter mile into the backyard is another neighborhood.
And so it's woods between those two neighborhoods.
Yes.
Was anything recovered during the canine search?
No.
Now, did you have the opportunity, or did the Cohasset PD have the opportunity to enlist any other law enforcement agencies on the 5th?
Yes.
What was done?
I reported to my supervisor, who requested additional resources from the State Police CPAC unit for Norfolk County.
And when, if any, if ever, did any resources from the State Police Detectives Unit arrive at Cohasset PD?
About 5 p.m. that Thursday.
And who arrived from the State Police Detective Unit?
Trooper DeChico and Sergeant Buchanan.
And once they arrived, what did you do with these two troopers?
I informed them of what was been done so far in the investigation, and we listened to the audio recording from the first interview.
After having this opportunity to review all this information with these officers, what, if anything, what was done at that point in time in the investigation?
We went to the residence.
Who went to the residence?
Myself, Detective Lieutenant Lopes, Sergeant Hunt, Trooper DeChico, and Sergeant Buchanan.
And about what time did you go to the residence?
8 p.m.
Did you do anything as far as contacting Mr. Walshe before you arrived at the residence?
I don't recall.
When you arrived at the residence, who was there?
Mr. Walshe was, his 3 children, and his mother.
Was anyone leaving the residence at this hour?
The nanny, Robin Howell, was leaving.
When you got to the residence, did you have the opportunity to conduct any further interviews?
Yes.
Who did you have the interview with?
Mr. Walshe.
Where did the interview take place?
In the dining room and kitchen area.
And can you describe the kitchen dining room area?
Open concept. If you walk into that portion of the house, dining room's on the left, kitchen's on the right. There's a large dining room table. There's window bench seating on one side and chairs on the other sides.
Where'd you sit?
I believe the window bench seat.
And did anyone else from law enforcement participate with the interview with you and Mr. Walshe?
Yes, Trooper DeChico.
And where was Sergeant Hunt?
Excuse me, Sergeant Hunt was also present.
And I take it you're all at the dining room table?
Yes.
So you had mentioned that Detective Lieutenant Lopes and Sergeant Buchanan also arrived there that night?
Correct.
Where did they go?
They went on the other side of the staircase is a TV living room area, and they spoke with Mr. Walsh's mother.
Could you hear them talking to Mr. Walsh's mother?
Yes.
And during that interview, did the defendant have any access to his children?
Yes, they were coming in and out of the interview.
Did the children give you anything that night?
They gave me a piece of art.
Now, have you had the opportunity to review the transcript from that interview?
Yes.
And have you had the opportunity to listen to the audio of that interview?
Yes.
Does the audio fairly and accurately record that interview?
It does, however, there is background noise.
And in regards to the transcript, is there anything missing as far as the how compared to the audio?
Yes, the background noise isn't included in the transcript.
Is not or is?
Excuse me, is not, Your Honor.
How long did that interview go on for?
About an hour.
Did Mr. Walshe ask to take any breaks during that interview?
No.
What was his demeanor like during that interview?
He was calm and cooperative.
During that interview, what did he say that his normal contact would be with his wife, Anna Walshe, while she was working in Washington?
A daily contact.
During the interview, did you have the opportunity to ask him whether or not Anna was contemplating suicide?
Yes.
And what was his response to that?
She wouldn't do that.
What, if anything, did he say she was unhappy about?
Stress from work and distance.
And was he asked about extramarital affairs on either side?
Yes.
What did he say?
Neither of them had extramarital affairs.
Did you ask, or was he asked on whether or not, if they had had an argument the morning she left January 1?
Yes.
What was his response?
There wouldn't have been enough time that morning.
What do you say the biggest argument they had had recently was?
She had a 2-week vacation scheduled, and instead of coming home, she was in Belgrade visiting her mother.
Now, did he say what was causing stress in their relationship at this point in time?
Yes.
What was causing stress?
The distance, being away from the children.
And in addition to the distance, were there any other stressors in the relationship?
Prior legal issues.
So he told you that he had another criminal matter going on?
Yes.
What did he tell you as far as his last contact with his wife, Anna Walshe, was?
He was in bed sleeping. This would be the morning of the 1st. She gave him a kiss goodbye, went downstairs to get dressed and leave for work.
And did he tell you what his oldest child told him was his last contact with Anna Walshe?
Yes.
What did he say his oldest child told him?
He said the oldest child was on the couch with an iPad, and Anna Walshe had come down, said goodbye to him, and then left in a vehicle. However, that car did not come up the driveway to the house.
Now, during the interview, who asked to look through the defendant's phone?
Trooper DeChico.
What did he say?
He asked to look through the contents and download the phone.
Now, when he asked to look through the phone, what was the defendant's response?
He said, "Let me get this straight. You want to download all the contents to my phone?"
And what did Trooper DeChico say in response to that?
Yes, all of the contents.
And what concerns did the defendant have after Trooper DeChico said that?
His prior legal issues.
And did he say who he wanted to talk to about this?
His attorney.
And Did he say how long it would take for him to get in touch with his attorney and get back to law enforcement about going through his phone?
Yes, he'd know likely the next day.
And what did he say his desire was as far as having his phone downloaded?
He said, this is my intention and declaration.
And to be clear, that was also including his desire to speak to his attorney and get permission first, to have a conversation with her, right?
Yes.
Did Trooper DeChico say why he wanted to look through the defendant's phone?
Yes, we wanted to establish a permanent timeline and get a tone of honor.
During the interview, was there any conversation about conducting a forensic interview of the children?
Yes.
What was discussed?
We explained what it was, and we had scheduled one for the following day at 10 a.m.
After the interview, what was done as far as searching the home?
We got consent from Mr. Walshe to search the home.
And when you got consent, what areas of the home did you check?
The entire home.
And what access did you have to the attic?
We checked the attic.
Did you find anything in the attic?
Nothing of remark.
And what, if anything, did you notice between the attic and the bedroom of Mr. Walshe?
There was a hole in the drywall in the ceiling.
Now, besides looking inside the home, did you have access to the pool?
Yes.
And what was done as far as looking at the pool that night?
We used flashlights to look into the pool again.
And you say again, did you have the opportunity to look at it the night before?
Yes.
Was anything ever recovered from the pool?
No.
And now, that night, did you have the opportunity to look into any of the vehicles again?
Yes.
Which vehicle?
The Volvo XC90.
And the Volvo XC90, who gave you permission to look into it?
Mr. Walshe.
And what was noticed as far as anything inside what did you notice about the Volvo that night on the 5th?
Inside was a receipt from Lowe's dated the 4th, and there was a cell phone.
Did Mr. Walshe tell you who the phone belonged to?
His oldest son.
After having the opportunity, well, in addition to looking at the house, looking outside the house, did you go to anywhere else as far as at that address to look around for Ms. Walshe?
We checked the trash barrels that lined the driveway.
Did you find anything in the trash barrels?
No.
After doing all that, where'd you go?
Back to Cohasset Police Headquarters.
What did you do back at Cohasset Police Headquarters?
We attempted to contact financial institutions that might have recent activity.
And about what time do you think you got back to Cohasset PD?
Approximately 10:30 p.m. maybe.
So now on January 6th, Friday, what happened to the forensic interview of the children?
It was canceled.
And what was done by state police to bring in more resources?
A large-scale search was started. We brought in command posts, the State Police Search and Rescue Team, the Metro Search and Rescue Team, and area detectives on mutual aid.
Now, did anyone conduct a press conference on January 6th from your department?
Yes.
Who?
Chief Quigley.
And how do you characterize this case at the press conference?
A missing persons investigation.
On January 6th, did you have the opportunity to speak to anyone who saw Anna Walshe or Brian Walshe on December 31st?
Yes.
Who'd you speak to?
Jem Mutlu.
And
What's the last name?
Mutlu, Your Honor.
can you spell it?
Mutlu.
And where did this conversation occur?
Cohasset Police Headquarters.
And who was with you for this conversation?
Trooper Chico.
During this conversation, what did he tell you as far as his relationship to Anna Walshe?
Previous coworker and friend.
And what time did he get to does he believe he got to the Walshe home that night on New Year's Eve?
I don't recall what time he got there.
Did he say what interaction he had with the children that night?
Yes.
What interaction did he have with the children that night?
The oldest child had come down the stairs, and he took a photo with the oldest child and Anna Walshe.
And did he say whose phone they took it with? If you remember.
I don't recall.
And after the oldest child came downstairs, was there any further interaction with the children?
No.
What time did he say he left?
After 1 a.m., between 1 and 1:30.
And what did he say the demeanor was of everyone there?
Good.
Now, who on January 6th was working on speaking with Mr. Walsh's attorney about getting access to his cell phone?
Sergeant Buchanan.
And do you know if any digital devices were obtained from Mr. Walshe?
Yes.
What day?
Friday.
The 6th?
Friday the 6th.
And were you there when they were obtained?
No.
Now, do you know when those devices were returned?
Saturday.
The 7th.
Correct.
Now, did you have the opportunity to speak with the defendant again on January 7th?
I did.
Approximately what time?
2 p.m.
And where did this conversation take place?
His residence again.
And who was at the residence when you had this conversation with him?
His attorney.
And do you know her name?
Attorney Tracy Minor.
In addition to yourself, the defendant, and Attorney Minor, was anyone else there for the interview?
Yes.
And who else was there?
Trooper DeChico and Trooper Proctor.
Now, did you have the opportunity to hear the recording of that interview?
Yes.
And does it fairly and accurately depict the interview as it occurred that day on January 7th?
Yes.
Did you have the opportunity to review the transcript?
Yes.
And does the transcript fairly reflect the audio recording?
It does.
Is there anything missing?
There's certain discernible parts, and at one point in time, a dog barking in the background that's not in the transcript.
And, Your Honor, the Commonwealth would be seeking to mark those as exhibits, which is already in the binder, but for the record, those are chapters 7 and 8, Your Honor. 7 would be the audio file, 8 would be the transcript, and there's a drive in the binder that has all 4 audio files, Your Honor.
Is that this?
Yes, Your Honor.
You said that was just exhibits, or was marked as tab 7 and 8. And so what's on here is 7, 8, and the previously identified, what was it, 1, 2?
So the audio, the drive would have Exhibit 2, for the January 4th interview, Exhibit 5, which would be the January 5th interview, and at this point in time, Exhibit 7, the January 7th interview.
Okay. And I listened to the interviews that were on the drive that you gave. Are those the same that I listened to?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thanks. Any objection to 7 and 8?
No, Your Honor.
All right, great, thanks.
Sergeant, I'd like to ask questions about this interview now. Are you familiar with what Viber is?
Yes.
What is Viber?
Communication app.
And what is WhatsApp?
Also a communications app.
What did the defendant say that Ms. Walsh had as far as access to Viber and WhatsApp?
She would use those apps.
And are you familiar with Instagram?
Yes.
And what is Instagram?
Social media platform.
And what access did the defendant say that Ms. Walsh had to Instagram?
She would use them.
I imagine Facebook is something similar to Instagram?
Yes.
And what access did he say she had to Facebook?
She would use Facebook.
What access did the defendant have to Ms. Walsh's passwords when you were talking to him?
They shared some financial passwords.
And what access did she have to, well, first off, what is Venmo?
Venmo is an app that you can transfer money to and from.
And what access did she say that she had to Venmo?
She has Venmo.
Now, in addition to these applications, what did he tell you as far as financial institutions she would use?
They would use Apple Credit Union, Liberty Bay, Fidelity, Chase, and a JetBlue credit card.
And how would she conduct her finances?
Online banking.
During the interview, at any point in time, did attorney minor interrupt the defendant?
Yes.
And what did she say when she interrupted him?
Don't talk about our communications.
Now, did the defendant tell you how he would obtain permission to leave the home when dealing with federal authorities?
Through email.
And what would he do as far as contacting them via email? What would he ask?
There was a scheduled time, and requests need to be made 72 hours out. And if there's an emergency request would have to be through email.
And did he say anything as far as your ability to review those emails?
Yes.
What did he say?
He said we could review those emails.
And what did attorney minor say at this point in time?
We could review those emails.
Now, what did the defendant tell you as far as his whereabouts on January 1st, 2023?
He was home.
And did he leave the home at any time?
Yes.
Where did he go?
He went to Shaw's to get orange juice and milk.
And once he went to Shaw's and got those items, where did he go?
He returned home.
Did he leave the home again on January 1st?
Yes.
Where did he say he went?
To visit his mother at 330 Paradise Road in Swampscott.
Did he say what happened on his way to Swampscott?
He got lost.
In addition to going to visit his mother, did he go to anywhere else in that area?
Yes, he went to Whole Foods and CVS.
And besides those stores, did he tell you any other locations he went to on the first?
There was discussion of possibly going to Walgreens.
Now, what did he tell you as far as where he went on January 2nd?
To Norwell to get ice cream with his son.
And during this interview, did anyone ask him about the name Richard Walker?
Yes.
Who asked about Richard Walker?
Trooper Chico.
And did he know Richard Walker?
No.
What was the significance to you at this point in time of the name Richard Walker?
I had received an email with a ransom request from an email address with the name Richard Walker.
And when had you received this email in relation to the interview that you were conducting with the defendant at this point in time on January 7th?
Before.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes.
Sergeant, I'm showing you a copy of a document. Do you recognize that?
Yes,
Is that the email you received from with the name Richard Walker attached to it?
it is.
The Commonwealth would seek to have this marked as the next exhibit. It's in the binder, Your Honor, and before I try and admit it twice, it's Exhibit 9.
Thank you. Any objection?
No objection. Did you read the body of the email?
We have the so named Anna Walsh with us here. We had a deal worth $127,000. She messed up. We have her here with us, and if she doesn't pay the money, then she'll never be back. And we know that the police and the FBI are involved. Good luck finding us.
I may have that back. Besides Trooper Chico mentioning that name once, was there any further discussion of Richard Walker or the substance, or even the substance of the email?
No.
Now, what did the defendant tell you as far as Mrs. Walsh's use of Uber or Lyft?
That she would use them Uber 1 and Lyft 2.
As her preferences?
Yes.
While you were conducting the interview, did anyone arrive?
Yes.
Who arrived?
Abdullah.
And what happened once that gentleman arrived?
Attorney Minor advised Mr. Walsh to get him to leave.
And what did Mr. Walsh do?
He went to the door and got him to leave.
And was the defendant ever asked how Anna Walsh would communicate if she lost her cell phone?
Yes.
What did he say?
He didn't know at first.
And then did anyone ask him about using an iPad?
Yes.
And what did he say if Anna had lost her phone, what access how she would communicate using an iPad?
He said that's right. She would use an iPad.
Now, what did the defendant tell you as far as how Anna would communicate with JetBlue?
He related they wouldn't have good luck calling, so she would use the chat function on the online website.
And did Attorney Minor have any comments at this point in time about contacting JetBlue via the online chat function?
Yes, she said that she uses JetBlue and uses the online website chat feature.
And did the defendant have any questions for you at this point in time accessing this information?
Yes, he asked if we had reviewed the JetBlue chatter.
Now, was there ever a discussion of Anna Walshe making a brunch reservation for January 1st?
Yes.
And the defendant didn't have any knowledge of a brunch reservation at this point in time, correct?
Yes.
But did he say how she would have made that reservation if she was going to?
Through the apps Resi or OpenTable.
Okay, just a little bit of a commentary pause here. So, a couple of things, y'all. And I don't know if we've gotten used to hearing it, or you might be like, oh, Paul, no, this isn't true for me, or whatever. I've normalized, we're listening to it at 1.5. There's no way in my mind I can imagine listening to this at regular speed, right? Because even I'm listening to this, I'm like, they're talking too slow, right? I'm just like, normal speed on this, I feel like the guy would be like asleep. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, oh my God. Yeah, Tori says, why is it always a random kidnapping? Honestly, how do we always end up here? It's like, again, all the cliches are present in this. We have random kidnapping, pretend, insane Google searches, insane on camera going to disposal areas for body, Home Depot receipts. Don't look at my phone. I mean, it's all right here. I cannot with this. I cannot with this. And him sitting over there just writing notes like he's got some kind of I gotcha moment. We did forget to remember my rights here. Honey, we are so far past we're so far past that right now. They didn't get a search warrant for the closet in the bedroom. Honey, we are way past even trying to argue that at this point, okay? They're going to find a way to make it where they know exactly what went down, honey. They know exactly what went down. They will make it work. Trust me, okay? They know exactly what his number is. Okay, here, let's keep going.
Now, how long was this interview?
About 2 hours.
And after that interview was over, what did you do?
We checked the area for security footage to try and corroborate any vehicles coming or going.
And so how do you do that?
Neighborhood canvas.
Now, were you ever informed about the contents of any of the digital devices on January 7th, that's Saturday?
Yes.
About what time were you informed?
6:30 p.m.
And how were you informed?
Phone call.
From who?
One of the CPAC troopers.
Do you remember which one at this point in time?
No.
And what were you notified of?
There was suspicious browser history.
Now, this is January 7th. And now I want to ask you some questions about January 8th.
Okay.
On the morning of January 8th, did you have the opportunity to be present when a search warrant was executed in Cohasset?
Yes.
Where was it executed?
The residence.
516 Chief Justice Cushing Highway.
Correct.
And who was executing the search warrant?
The CPAC unit with conjunction with Cohasset Police.
And who was home at the residence when the search warrant was executed?
Mr. Walshe, the 3 children, and his mother.
Now, when the warrant was executed, did anyone arrive to assist Mr. Walshe after the warrant was first served?
Attorney Minor.
About how long did it take for her to arrive?
15 minutes.
And once Attorney Minor arrived, what was done with the family of Mr. Walshe?
We moved car seats around so they could leave the premises with Attorney Minor.
And did you ever have the opportunity to participate in a fourth interview of the defendant on that day, Sunday, January 8th?
Yes.
And where did that occur?
Attorney Minor's residence in Situate.
And about what time did that occur?
About 11 a.m.
And who was present for that interview?
Myself, Trooper Chico, Trooper Proctor, Attorney Minor, and Mr. Walshe.
And during the interview, what was discussed?
The browser search history.
And what did the defendant say he would do with the iPad as far as helping the children?
He would put on spooky movies for him.
And did he say he did anything else with the iPad?
No.
How long did this interview go on for?
Just over 10 minutes.
Who stopped the interview?
Attorney Minor.
And once the interview was terminated by Attorney Minor, what did you do?
I shut off the recorder and we left.
And did you ever have the opportunity to see Mr. Walshe again that day?
Yes.
About what time?
4 p.m.
And where did you see him?
Attorney Minor's residence.
And what were you doing at Attorney Minor's residence at 4 p.m. on January 8th, Sunday?
I placed him in custody.
And where was he taken to once he was placed into custody?
Cohasset Police Headquarters.
He was booked there?
He was.
Ma'am, moment you're on?
You may.
I'm going to go over a couple things that I may have missed. On January 4th, which was Wednesday, the first day you met Mr. Walshe, what did he say to you about looking at anything on his phone?
We could look at anything if it would help.
And on the 5th, actually, I'll ask this on the 4th. Did he ever tell you what access Anna had of his phone on January 4th?
On the 4th, he said that Anna would use his device, or excuse me, would use his phone, and that she would send photos from his phone to herself if she liked them.
And on the 5th, what did he say as far as Anna's access to his phone? When now you're with the Trooper Chico on the second day.
Is there a transcript portion that would refresh my memory?
You're saying your memory is exhausted at this point in time?
It is.
All right. I think that we can, I'll come back to it and find that portion of the transcript. I'm going to ask you a couple other questions in the meantime. On the 5th, how did you get the Volvo open?
He provided the keys to us.
And what was the difference in the Volvo from the 4th to the 5th?
The plastic sheeting in the trunk was not there.
When you arranged the interview for when you arranged interviews with the defendant, how would you do it? Would you call him? Would you just show up? What was your process?
Both occurred.
And who was the person that canceled the forensic interview of the children on January 6th?
Mr. Walshe.
Are you aware of what time Mr. Walsh's devices were returned to him on January 7th?
Would have been around the time of the interview.
Before it began?
Before it began.
And did he describe for you on that Saturday, January 7th interview of what happened as far as getting lost that day going to his mother's residence?
Yes.
What did he tell you?
He said he did not have his cell phone with him, so he took the wrong route.
And what did he say as far as the location of his cell phone from January 1 into January 2?
His children had moved it. He didn't know where it was.
And, sir, concerning the 4th interview that you had with the defendant on January 8th, was that recorded?
Yes.
And did you have the opportunity to review that recording?
Yes.
Is it a fair and accurate representation of that interview?
It is.
And was there a transcript created of that interview?
Yes.
And does it fairly reflect that audio recording?
It does.
And, Your Honor, so I would be moving to enter in as the exhibits 11 and 12 in the binder as the audio file and the transcript for the January 8th interview.
Any objection to that? Okay, 10.
And one more, Your Honor.
Certainly.
As far as the location of where people were seated on the January 4th and the January 5th interview, so we're talking about those first two, was there any difference as far as how, like, where people were?
I was seated in a chair for the first one. I think I was on the bench. I was on the bench for the second one.
But everyone was around the dining room table?
Correct.
And everyone was seated?
Yes.
And one more moment, Your Honor. Oh, and apparently I've neglected to enter in one of the transcripts, Your Honor. I apologize. And the audio. So exhibit 5 and 6, according to the binder. So I'm going to just ask the officer this for the record. Have you had the opportunity to review the audio from the January 5th, 2023 interview?
Yes.
And does it fairly and accurately reflect that interview?
It does.
And that transcript, have you seen that of that interview?
Yes.
And does it accurately reflect the audio of that interview?
It does.
And as far as any problem, is there anything missing in the transcript compared to the audio?
For the 5th,
Yes, sir.
there was background noise. You could hear you could hear Mr. Walsh's mother speaking in the background, and Sergeant Buchanan.
I just want to make sure we don't have a glitch here.
Yes, I appreciate that, Your Honor. I think I've followed things up.
So I see in the binder that the has now been marked. Exhibit 4 is the transcript of the interview. What's marked as Exhibit 4 in this binder is the transcript of the interview of 1/7/23, and what's marked as Exhibit 5 is the transcript.
And I think that the reason for that, Your Honor, is that the audio files,
Something's not right here.
yes, I think the audio files take us out of order.
Well, I just want to make sure, I mean, we're talking about,
Okay, y'all. So Brian has pled guilty. So do y'all want to go watch? Do you want to watch some news clips on him pleading guilty? I'll just kind of do a quick little, not even a poll, but just kind of see. So drop a 1 if you want to go watch stuff about him pleading guilty. Okay. Okay, so let's do that. I can't believe that. Okay, but just now what we look forward to. Right. But y'all, the evidence that we're seeing y'all is so over the top. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is crazy. It's so bad. Okay, it is so bad. Okay, let's do this. Right, let me find it. Okay, I'm just going to read this for right now. So this is from Court TV. Brian pled guilty in connection with the death of his missing wife on the day a jury selection was scheduled to begin. Prosecutors said that he murdered his wife on January 1st, 2023. Hold on, let's get to here. Let's keep going. Wait, hold on. We're going to skip this one. Let's find a different video to watch. The courtroom's just kind of adjourned. Okay, so 3 minutes ago, they're at sidebar. Okay, so let's do live updates. Hold on, let me find y'all. I'm going to be over here reading these live updates real quick about this. Right now in the courtroom, the screen is just like on a weird part of the courtroom. You know what I'm saying? They're not showing it, is what I'm getting at. Hold on now. We got to be finding all this now. Hold on. We got to find all this now. Let's do this. Stop sharing this. Please hold. Everyone just please hold now. This is getting serious up in here. Okay, now let me get over here. Okay, I'm going to share this screen. So he got away with the murder. He got away with the murder.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
everyone else set?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
You may.
Mr. Walsh, can you please stand?
Mr. Walsh, do you wish to offer a change of plea on docket number 2382CR91002, which charges you with intimidation of a witness, juror, police, or court official, and 003, disinterment of a body? Do you wish to offer a change of plea from not guilty to guilty?
I do.
Could you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear to make true answers to such questions that should be put forth to you by the court, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you. Could you please take the witness stand?
Actually, you know what I'm gonna, this is an odd configuration. I don't want counsel standing. So I'm gonna let you stay right there, sir. You understand you're under oath?
I do.
All right, why don't you be seated and you can have the benefit of your counsel at the ready right there.
Okay.
Mr. Walsh, as you know, my name is Diane Frenier. I'm the judge that's presiding over this trial, and I'm an associate justice of the Superior Court in Massachusetts. I understand from your lawyers that you wish to change your plea to guilty to counts indictment 002 and in 003. And before I can accept that change of plea to guilty to those two indictments, I need to ask you some questions to make sure that your decision to plead guilty is made voluntarily and that you understand the consequences of pleading guilty to those two offenses. If at any time during the course of this colloquy you don't understand something that I am saying to you, just let me know by letting your attorneys know. Let them consult with you. And equally, if I don't understand something that you're saying to me, I'll ask for that further clarification. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Can you please state your full name, sir?
Brian Walsh.
All right. And Mr. Welsh, do you have any difficulty speaking or understanding English?
I do not, Your Honor.
How old are you, sir?
I'm sorry, I missed that.
Sure, I'll try to get into this microphone. How old are you?
50.
And what's your exact date of birth?
January 31st, 1975.
Where were you born, sir?
Boston.
Are you married?
Yes.
Do you have any children?
Yes.
And what are their ages?
9, 6, and next month, Brian will be 5.
How far did you go in school?
College, some college.
That was like a year and a half or 2 years.
Oh, yes.
And where did you go to school?
Carnegie Mellon,
What did you study?
business computer science.
As an adult, have you had full-time employment?
I've had my own businesses,
And in what kind of businesses?
mostly consulting.
Okay. I need to ask you some personal questions. I'm going to ask you those questions now. Have you ever in the past been treated for any mental illnesses or conditions?
Yes.
Tell me about them.
Depression.
And are you aware of whether anything else other than depression?
That was the main thing.
All right. And are you presently aware of whether you have any mental illnesses or conditions, to include depression?
No.
Are you taking any medications?
No.
In the last 24 hours, have you taken any drugs, legal or illegal?
No.
In the last 24 hours, have you consumed any alcohol or alcoholic beverages?
No.
Is your mind clear here today?
Yes.
Tell me in your own words, sir, why are you here
I'm here to plead guilty.
on those two counts?
Yes.
And you understand that your trial is starting today
Yes.
on the first indictment? All right. To the defense counsel, have you had any difficulty communicating with your client?
No, Your Honor.
And do you believe that he has understood the advice that you've provided to him?
Same.
So at this time, I'm going to go over what's called the waiver of rights. And at the end of it, I'm going to give you the form back that I believe you signed earlier today. Do you understand, sir, that by pleading guilty, that you're giving up your right to have a public, fair, and impartial trial as to each of the two indictments to which you're now pleading guilty, with or without a jury, to determine your guilt or innocence?
I do, Your Honor.
And do you understand that if you went to trial, you wouldn't have to prove anything? For example, you never have to take the stand to testify. You would never have to call any witnesses. No jury could ever hold it against you if you did not present any evidence at all. Instead, it is the Commonwealth that has the burden to prove you are guilty of each of the offenses and each element of those offenses beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand that?
I understand, yes.
You have the right to be tried by a jury of 12 people selected from your community, and you would have the right to participate in jury selection. You could not be found guilty unless the Commonwealth convinces all 12 jurors that you are guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, and they unanimously agree you are guilty. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
You also have the right to be tried by a judge instead of a jury. And again, the judge couldn't find you guilty unless the Commonwealth presented evidence sufficient to convince the judge beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty of the charge. Do you understand?
Yes.
Do you understand that if you went to trial, you would have the right to confront your accusers and any other witnesses that may testify against you by facing them and having your attorneys ask questions of them?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that if you went to trial, you would have the right to call your own witnesses, present your own evidence, and if you wished, even testify on your own behalf? Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that by pleading guilty here today, you're giving up your right to pursue any arguments or motions that your attorneys may have made or filed on your behalf in this case, and that may include motions to dismiss and motions to suppress, as well as your right to appeal any rulings or decisions that the court may have already made in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
And are you willing to give up each of those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Pass that to the defendant. Sir, if passed, had the court officer pass to you defendant's waiver of rights, have you seen that form before?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you read that document or have someone read it to you?
Yes, Your Honor, I read it.
Have you reviewed it with your attorneys? Do you understand it? Do you understand what's contained on the waiver of rights form?
I do, Your Honor.
You understand that that form sets forth in writing what you and I have just been discussing a moment ago in terms of your willingness to waive your constitutional and statutory rights and plead guilty to the two indictments?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that your signature at the end of the document?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you sign that voluntarily?
Yes, Your Honor, I signed it voluntarily.
By signing that form, you're confirming to me, sir, in writing that you are aware of the rights explained on the form, that you understand them, and that you voluntarily waive them. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, wait, y'all. Wait, y'all. He's still going to trial for murder. Okay, got it. So, yeah, I read into this as he was pleading out to this. I'm like, he's not pleading out to a murder charge. He got away with killing her. I'm like, honey, if I was him, I'd be doing backflips, jumping jacks, somersaults, praising hallelujahs, signing this plea deal. Right? So they still are doing the trial for murder. Okay, got it. Got it. Oh, Lord mercy. Lord have mercy. I mean, I don't know why he's doing this. Does anyone have any intel? Like, what would be the reasoning in pleading out to these two things? Okay, let's keep watching.
Do you understand, sir, that you are pleading guilty to the following two indictments? Indictment 002, which charges willfully misleading a police investigation, a criminal investigation, in violation of Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 268, Section 13B, and in Indictment 003, you are pleading guilty to, while not being lawfully authorized by proper authorities, willfully conveying away a human body or the remains thereof in violation of Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 272, Section 71. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And have you talked to your attorneys about each of these two indictments?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has counsel explained the elements of each of those two indictments that the Commonwealth would have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand each indictment?
I'm sorry, what did you?
Do you understand each indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
And to defense counsel, have you explained the elements of each of the two offenses to your client? I'm going to ask that the assistant of the Commonwealth, whoever wishes to do it, would tell me what the maximum and minimum sentences are. And I don't believe there are any mandatory minimum sentences, but you can tell me if there are.
There are no mandatory minimum sentences, Your Honor. The maximum sentence on count 2 is 10 years unless the investigation is into a capital offense, and then it is a 20-year sentencing enhancement, up to 20 years. On count 3, it is up to 3 years in state prison.
Thank you. Mr. Walsh, did you hear the maximum possible sentences for the charges that the Commonwealth just recited?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you understand those maximum potential offense charges? Sentences?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that I have the authority to impose consecutive sentences on indictments, meaning, for example, that the sentence on the second indictment would begin only after you completed your sentence on the first indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that if I impose a period of probation, you will be subject to the terms and conditions imposed, including not committing any other crimes and reporting to your probation officer?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you should later be found in violation of any of the terms or conditions of your probation, a judge could sentence you up to the maximum penalty allowable by law for any of the charges on which you have been found in violation of probation, and would be required to sentence you to any mandatory minimum penalty required by the law.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand what I just explained?
Yes.
Pleading guilty has certain implications for you, and I'm going to go over those implications with you now. First is DNA testing. By pleading guilty to these two indictments, you will be required by law to submit a sample of your blood, hair, and/or saliva, and that sample will become part of the Massachusetts DNA database. You will be required to pay for the cost of collecting, preparing, and processing that sample unless you are determined to be indigent, and failure to comply with this law will subject you to separate criminal penalties. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you still willing to plead guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
I know earlier in the colloquy this morning, you told me that you were born in Boston, and I have no reason to doubt that. But the law mandates that I give you warnings with regard to immigration consequences, and I'm going to give you those immigration consequences now. If you are not a citizen of the United States, you are hereby advised that my acceptance of your guilty plea may have the consequence of deportation, exclusion from admission to the United States, and denial of your naturalization request, all pursuant to the federal laws. Further, if the offense to which you are pleading guilty is under federal law, one that presumptively mandates removal from the United States, and federal officials seek your removal, it's practically inevitable that this conviction will result in deportation, exclusion from admission to the United States, and or denial of your naturalization request, again, under those federal laws. Do you understand what I just said?
Yes.
Has your attorney advised you of these consequences if you are not a citizen of the United States?
Yes, Your Honor.
And understanding that, do you still wish to plead guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because the sentence for account number 2 could be a state prison sentence of 3 or more years, I'm now going to give you what's called the habitual offender law warning, which I'm required to give you. Here it is. If at some time in the future you are convicted or plead guilty to a third or subsequent offense that is within the category of offenses covered by the statute, then 1, you may be imprisoned in state prison for the maximum term provided by law for such third or subsequent offense. 2, your sentence could not be reduced or suspended. And 3, you may be ineligible for probation, parole, work release, or furlough, or to receive any deduction in the sentence for good conduct. Do you understand what I just said?
Yes, Your Honor.
And understanding what I've advised you with regard to these sentencing consequences, are you still willing to plead guilty to the 2 charges?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I'm now going to ask the Assistant District Attorney to summarize the evidence that would have been presented against you by the Commonwealth if you went to trial in this case. And I'm going to ask, sir, that you listen carefully, because when the ADA is finished, I'm going to ask you some questions about the facts that the ADA has stated.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, regarding count 002, misleading police in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 268, Section 13B. On or about or in between January 1st to January 8th, 2023, Mr. Walsh did willfully mislead police officers with the intent to impede, obstruct, delay, prevent, and otherwise interfere with the criminal investigation into the disappearance and murder of Anna Walsh. The defendant first misled the Cohasset police in the morning of January 4th, 2023, when after he reported his wife Anna Walsh missing. He stated to a Cohasset police officer that Anna Walsh had left the Walsh residence at 516 Chief Justice Cushing Highway in Cohasset on the morning of January 1st, 2023, by taking an Uber or Lyft to Logan Airport when returning to Washington, D.C. for a work emergency. The defendant then continued to mislead police officers. When he made additional false statements about Anna Walsh being alive and voluntarily leaving the Walsh residence, as well as when he detailed his whereabouts on January 1st, 2023, the Cohasset Police and Massachusetts State Police officers. The defendant continued to make false statements when the police officers from these agencies met with him, including on the evening of January 4th, on January 5th, January 7th, and January 8th. In January of 2023, the Cohasset Police Department had approximately 20 full-time police officers, including 2 detectives. The Cohasset Police devoted all available resources in an attempt to find Anna Walsh. They requested assistance from other departments and agencies. And on January 6th, the Cohasset Police Department conducted a press conference seeking help in locating Anna Walsh. As a result of the defendant's false and misleading statements, law enforcement agencies and police officers took many actions, which had a heavy financial and emotional cost. These included the Cohasset Fire Department searching a swimming pool at the Walshe residence. Teams of police officers from multiple agencies and departments, including a K-9 team, participating in large-scale canvass of the area around the Walshe residence during inclement weather. DC Metro Police attempted to locate Anna Walshe in Washington, DC, and Massachusetts police officers, including Cohasset Police, Massachusetts State Police detectives, and other units from Massachusetts State Police, traveled to Washington to search for Anna Walshe in a result of the defense false statements. The defendant's conduct was willful. His statements impeded, obstructed, delayed, and otherwise interfered with the criminal investigation, and the delays resulted in the contents of dumpsters in which the defendant had disposed of Anna Walshe's remains being incinerated.
Why don't you pause there? We'll deal with count one and, count two, and then we'll go to count three.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So, Mr. Walsh, did you hear what the Assistant District Attorney just said with regard to the statement of the offense conduct for indictment 002, misleading police?
Your Honor, if I may, Mr. Walsh is prepared to admit to the recitation of facts with respect to the indictment that the government just read, insofar as it alleges he did impede and obstruct the criminal investigation into the disappearance of Anna Walshe. We obviously object, and he's not admitting to and murder. The second portion of the facts that the government just read that we would take issue with is the last sentence, and the delays resulted in the contents of the dumpsters into which the defendant had deposited Anna Walshe remains being incinerated. Insofar as the rest of the facts, he's prepared to admit.
All right. Mr. Walsh, you just heard what Attorney Poore just said, sort of the insofar as. It's another way of saying it limited to this. And you heard what your counsel just said. Understanding those limitations as just articulated by your counsel, did you do or join others in doing those acts?
Yes.
Do you understand that by pleading guilty that you're admitting to the facts described as revised by your counsel are true?
Yes.
Are they?
Yes.
Mr. Walsh, did you in fact willfully mislead various law enforcement to include members of the Cohasset Police Department and the Massachusetts State Police with the intent to impede or interfere with the criminal investigation of Anna Walsh's disappearance?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Moving to indictment number 3.
Thank you, Your Honor. Willfully conveying a human body in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 272, Section 71. On or about and in between January 1st and January 8th, 2023, the defendant Brian Walshe willfully conveyed away the body of Anna Walshe or the remains thereof from the Walshe residence at 516 Chief Justice Cushing Highway in Cohasset by conveying and disposing of Anna Walshe's body without a license or lawful authority or the remains thereof into dumpsters and or garbage receptacles in eastern Massachusetts. The defendant's actions were willful. Anna Walshe was not a stranger to the defendant. She was the defendant's wife and mother of his 3 young children. The defendant conducted internet searches into disposal of the body, researched locations of dumpsters, and then traveled to those locations. In disposing of the body of Anna Walshe, the defendant did not comply with the law.
Thank you. Sir, did you hear what the Commonwealth just alleged it would prove the case went to trial with regard to indictment number 3?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you do those things or join others in doing those acts?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that by pleading guilty to today, you are admitting the facts described just now by ADA Connor?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Walsh, did you in fact willfully remove or convey the body of Anna Walshe or her remains, not being lawfully authorized to do so?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, y'all. So let's let this sink in. Thank you, Emily. Let's let this sink in for a minute. He is admitting to throwing her body parts away in garbage cans and lying to police, but is saying he did not murder her. So he is in his world confident that he can, I mean, unless he pleads out to the murder charge next, anything's possible, right? In his world, he's thinking he can beat the murder charge. But what they are reading that he is admitting to, I'm like, what? Like, and again, you heard the judge in the beginning. She can do consecutive sentences, so he can be going into a murder charge, the trial for the murder, talking about, I'm doing 60 years, which would be a life sentence for him. He's 50 years old, right? Unless he's going to be 110. Everyone knows it's when he says, y'all, my gabbers are flashed. This is so insane. Okay, let's just keep going. I'm just like, this case is so crazy, y'all. All the way up to day 1 of jury selection.
Do you now plead guilty to these indictments willingly and voluntarily?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has anyone threatened you or forced you in any way to plead guilty to these 2 indictments?
No, Your Honor.
Has anyone promised you anything in return for your plea of guilty to these 2 indictments other than the terms of the plea agreement that we discussed? Excuse me, there's no plea agreement. That's what happens when you keep reading from the book, and you shouldn't. Has anyone promised you anything in return for your plea of guilty to these 2 indictments?
No, Your Honor.
Have you had enough time to discuss your rights, your case, your defenses, and the possible consequences of your guilty plea with your attorney?
Yes,
Yep.
Your Honor.
And do you feel that Attorney Tipton and Attorney Porges have acted in your best interest, that he and she have fully, fairly, and adequately represented you in this case?
Yes.
Are you confused in any way by any of the questions I've asked you today?
No, Your Honor.
As I understand it then, sir, you're pleading guilty to these 2 indictments because you wish to plead guilty because you are guilty. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Counsel, do you know?
So I just typed this in, and I typed it in StreamYards. And this is what I typed. I desperately want to fix that cowlick on the back of his head. And this is what StreamYard said. YouTube rejected your comment. They usually think it's spam. Try changing it a bit. I'm like, what's violent about that? Like, it does this to me all the time in StreamYards. Yeah, that spot on his head is driving me crazy. It's like he just rolled. Like, was he sleeping against the wall while he was waiting? Like, what's going on here?
No, defense counsel first. Do you know of any reason why I should not accept your client's guilty plea? Same question to the Commonwealth.
Your Honor, I'll be brief, but we had spoken, this is a non-negotiated plea with Commonwealth, and we had some objections to it. But my concern was where the defendant put the case on the factual basis. The Commonwealth read in that is one reason you should not take it. And the second is this count 3 revolves around improper disposal of Mr. Walshe's remains. And the defendant, when asked his marriage status, said that he was married. And consequently, Your Honor, then that is not an accurate relaying of his current status to the court and could be invalidating the plea. So I believe he has to be asked that question again. And I believe that if he continues to say he's married, that he's negating facts of count 3.
All right, I'll give defense counsel an opportunity to speak with your client.
Your Honor, I apologize. I couldn't exactly hear what Mr. Connor's caveat was.
In response to one of the early questions I asked of the defendant, I asked him if he was married, and he said yes, he was. And the Commonwealth was raising the point that if that were true, that it might negate proof of the disinterment, which requires a human body or remains. Do you want to speak to your client about that?
A moment, Your Honor.
Mm-hmm.
So Northwest brings up a good point of the defense is going to be filing a bunch of stuff
I don't see this as a relevant or
to keep out a lot of this information. This was probably a pure tactical move because it's almost like this, and this is a non-professional opinion right here, right? Plead guilty to these things, keep them out of the murder trial, take the murder trial to trial, the murder charge, to trial. We'll get all this stuff out of it. So most likely it will favor you to be found not guilty. You see what I'm saying? So it's like almost like a tactic. I don't know what you call it, but like if we go to trial with all 3 of these charges, the evidence is so bad against him, it's almost like, oh, honey, this jury would take 10 minutes to convict this man, right? So I think that this is what they're trying to do. I think that this is probably the angle that they're going for. It's like, plead out to these, you stand a fighting chance. A defendant can always plead open to court on charge, not a plea deal. Okay. He could sit here and be like, yeah. Strategy, thank you. That's the word I'm looking for, strategy. So we'll see. Here we go. We'll keep going. Oh yeah, I have the judge leaves all of it in. I hope it's not, I hope I'm wrong in that. And again, I mean, obviously I know I'm not a professional here. Yeah, but it just seems, this is so weird that he's doing this. So it's just like,
material issue. If the court wants clarification, I'm happy to approach sidebar.
Why don't we do that?
Okay.
we're in a sidebar. It ain't going to go too far. We're in a sidebar. This is where it was before. So yeah, so this seems to be the strategy, is keeping information out, but we, we'll see. It feels so weird. State wants judge to reject the plea. And Northwest, are you talking about, okay, when you say plea, are you talking about these two charges we're watching right here? They're saying we want you to reject it. Because this is behind of other, like, this is live right now, but we're behind where everybody else is. Yo, it is so cold. I have a heating pad on me, a Bobo on me. The state wants to take all of them. It's not a plea deal. He can plead guilty on his own. Okay, yeah. Okay, Northwest is behind with us. So right now, I guess this is the thing. Right now, he's pleading guilty. And so the judge can say, nope, I'm not going to do this at the end of this, right? So here's the thing, Tori. I have the fan going, and that's what my arms are freezing. It's 80 there in Texas. Oh, goodness. Hold on. Let me see here.
So, Mr. Walsh, earlier today, I asked you whether you were married, and you answered yes, you were married. Do you remember that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is it correct that you were married to Anna Walsh for a period of time,
Yes, Your Honor.
and that under the law, death extinguishes marriage? It may not religiously or otherwise, spiritually, but under the law, when someone dies or when someone is dead, you can no longer be married to them. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And so are you married today?
Your Honor, if I may, insofar as previous discussions, for purposes of a successful plea colloquy and meeting the elements of the crime, he is acquiescing to the fact that lawfully he is not married today.
All right, you heard what your lawyer just said? Agree with what your lawyer just said?
Yes, Your Honor, I agree.
All right. Anything else that we need to cover?
No, Your Honor.
All right. To the extent that the Commonwealth is objecting to the taking of the plea on other grounds, that is overruled. My job here is to make sure that I have a valid plea. And that means that the defendant is pleading guilty to the elements that the Commonwealth would have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. And I have inquired sufficiently to assure myself that he has admitted to each of the elements of the two offenses of indictment 02 and 03. So I know we discussed at an earlier point the issue of victim notification, and I'll ask on the record now for the Commonwealth. Has the Commonwealth advised the victims of this case of the defendant's offer to change his plea to guilt?
Yes, we have notified the victims, Your Honor.
And based on our prior discussions, I understand that the victims may wish to address this court prior to any sentencing of the defendant.
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right. And both parties that we've talked about this have agreed that we're not going to be sentencing the defendant today on the indictments that he's now pleading guilty to, correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Attorney Tipton Borges? All right. And we'll give the victims a reasonable opportunity to address the court before sentencing, of course.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You understand, Mr. Walsh, that at the time that we do get to sentencing, that by law, I'm not bound to any recommendation that's made by the prosecution or your lawyers. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And that I may impose any sentence permitted by law up to the maximum allowable sentence.
Yes, Your Honor.
Having considered Mr. Walsh's criminal history, the government's proffered evidence, I will later consider the victim's statements to the court for matters for sentencing. I find that Mr. Walsh has met the requirements to tender a plea to counts 2 and to counts 3. I make the following findings. I find that the defendant is not presently under the influence of drugs or alcohol, and that he hasn't reported that he's not presently suffering from any mental illness or condition, and that he's not presently taking any medications. I find that the defendant understands the nature of the charges and the consequences of his pleading guilty. I find that the defendant's change of plea to guilty with respect to each of the 2 indictments, 02 and 03, is made knowingly, willingly, intelligently, and voluntarily, and with the full knowledge of its consequences. I find that the defendant's change of plea on these 2 indictments to guilty is made upon and with the advice of competent counsel. And I find there's a factual basis in the evidence as been summarized by the prosecution and limited by defense counsel on behalf of the defendant for each of the 2 indictments to which the defendant now pleads guilty accordingly. I accept Mr. Walsh's plea of guilty as to indictments 002 and 003. Anything else that counsel that we need to do on the change of plea?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So let me turn to empanelment. I think you each had an opportunity last night to look at the questionnaire, and I know that defense counsel asked for an additional question to be added. I did add that. All right, I do have the right version. Counsel, if you want to come up, I'll take a look at what I added.
Okay, so here we are. I mean, this has been wow. So yes, and pardon me, now they're just moving on to the actual jury selection. So now I'm curious, but also of interest, whether or not, I didn't think that she would sentence him like right now, obviously, or whatever, but like, when are they going to sentence him for those? Because if I was him, I'd be like, I want to go ahead and get that done. You know what I mean? Because it's almost like, well, if he gets away with the murder charge, then she could be like, well, I'm going to give him the biggest sentence. I don't know. Yeah, this is going to be wild. I cannot believe this. I can't actually. Everything that the trials that we have followed, at least, well, even the ones we haven't followed, all this stuff has been so crazy. Now, hold on, I need to fix this right here. Oh goodness, I'm sorry. I've got this heating pad going. Then we're going to do this. We're going to go new playlist. We're going to say Brian Walshe trial. And we're going to create it. And we're going to save that. Just like that. And just like so. Yeah, how is everybody doing today? Audrey, you said you're tired this morning. Yeah. I tell you what. Tired, cold. So it's 50 degrees here in North Carolina. And I think it's like 35 inside the house. It feels like it. Oh wait, done. Boom. Save. Boom. Boom. Then we're going to come back over here and change. And surprise, Brian changes plea. And then we're going to save that. And we're going to download that. I'm just walking y'all through it. I'm just walking y'all through it. Then we're going to come back over here. And then we're going to say boom. And then we're going to come over here and go boom, boom, boom. Over here you say wow. We're going to change it. We're going to go boom, boom, boom. No, we're not doing all that. Excuse me. Oh, I haven't downloaded it. We're going to download it. Oh yeah, I got a we actually fell asleep, me and the dog, on the sofa. I took a heated like a real like a a bigger blanket, laid it on the sofa, then got my like fuzzy little flannel blanket and pillow, and then we sat on top of that, stretched out. And that was after we took a hot, well, not we, but after I took a hot bath with Epsom salt and a bath bomb. Oh, I don't know about y'all. Y'all tell me though. Okay, when I got this place, I had a garden tub in it. I was like, I'll never use that. Y'all, I use it every night. It is the best therapy. Especially like that. Like right now, I'm so cold. I'm like, I need a hot bath to warm up. And I've already taken a hot shower. But at nighttime, oh yeah. The hot bath, that's my evening cap. I have a book. I'm trying to get back in like actually reading, like a physical book. I'll sit there and read that and do my things. And I have like I don't know what you call it. Pardon me. Wait, let's see what's going on here. Hold on. Okay, so let's do this. Let's refresh this. Hold on. Okay, they've gone away from that. So, wait, let me find this. I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong screen. Okay, there we are. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. So now it makes me wonder, I mean, where do things go from here, right? What are they going to do? What are they going to say? Oh yeah, the Epsom salts in the bathtub, it's amazing. It's such a good way to like end the evening or the day or whatever you want to call it. Just like nice, relaxing. Okay, let's go back over here and see. No, we didn't do all that. Yeah, so they've gone offline. So we'll see. I was reading your comments. So yeah, so this is my thought process. So let me reel everything in. So this is what I think we'll do. We'll go ahead and knock off for the day because now that they've done that, they've gone wherever, right? So we'll resume maybe late, like what I'll do is this. If we're going to go live later tonight to do like a recap of jury selection and maybe like just this right here, I'll post it later in the day. I want to see if jury selection happens. Originally, I was like, oh, we'll sit here and watch this till about like noon, but there's no real point in continuing on. It makes me a little bit nervous, not nervous, but like, I want to see what they're going to do moving forward to see what we'll cover recap wise, if that makes sense. Because now with as crazy as this is going, I feel like, yeah, we need to be just watching this, so I won't be here tomorrow to stream. But then picking back up Thursday, I feel like we just focus on this and maybe do a recap. I'm gonna recalibrate is what I'm getting at. So yeah. Let's go to the hearing that we were watching originally and keep watching a little bit of it. We're not going to finish it today because it's like 4 hours. But let's get a little bit deeper into that one and then we'll go back. So please hold. I said, what do you want from me?
Appropriately, both in terms of what you're putting into evidence. We
And I
can
think
clean up the binder later. That's fine.
Yes, and I think I know what happened, Your Honor. It's that I put them in an order that included the audio files, but the audio files aren't like a hard exhibit to label in the binder.
So
So it's skipping over numbers as a result of the audio files.
all right. So
I can work with counsel and clean it up.
that'll be good.
And so with that, though, I do believe at this point in time, thanks to co-counsel, that I've marked the transcripts and the audio files of the 4 interviews.
Okay.
So I do believe that they're in evidence.
And there's no objection to any of those 4 interviews, the audio tape and the transcript.
There's none.
Thank you.
So I have nothing further, Your Honor.
All right. Cross-examination.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Were you present on January 6th of 2023 when devices were retrieved from Mr. Walsh?
No.
Were you present on January 7th of 2023 when the devices were returned to Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
When you talked on direct examination about this plastic sheet that was in the rear of the Volvo SUV, you were just asked a question a moment ago about how when you looked at the Volvo a second time on another day, the plastic sheet was missing.
That's correct.
It's fair to say, and it's accurate to say, isn't it, that at that moment, Mr. Walsh was asked about the missing plastic sheet, and he pointed to the officers and said, it's in the trash.
Yes.
Did you go and retrieve the plastic sheet in the trash?
No.
You've described, based on your review of the taped interviews that you were present for, that the taped interviews are an accurate representation of what happened, and the transcript is an accurate representation of what was stated during those interviews, correct?
Yes.
And you've said repeatedly that there was background noise, correct?
Correct.
And the background noise included a dog barking, correct?
Yes.
And that dog's name is Luna?
Hans.
And it's the name of the
Dog's name is Hans?
Dog's name is Hans.
Okay.
Hans. The dog, when you listen to those tape recordings, you can hear that barking go on and off during different periods of time during the recording, correct?
Yes.
And in fact, when you listen to those recordings, you can hear other people talking in the background at times, yeah.
Yes.
And it's fair to say then that during these interviews that you testified to under direct examination, there were times when it was hard to even hear what was going on, correct?
Can you repeat that, please?
There were times during these interviews that you testified to on direct examination, and let's focus on the interview of January 5th and the interview of January 7th, there were times when it was even hard to hear everything that was going on.
Yes.
It's also accurate, isn't it, that when you began asking Mr. Walsh questions on January 5th, there is a statement that is made that people are very loud, made in the context of all this background noise.
I'm sorry, I don't understand. Was that a question?
But you said you reviewed the transcript, right?
I do. I just
And-
don't understand the question.
That, in fact, in the transcript, there's a specific reference to people being very loud.
I don't recall.
And as I'm looking for that, I'll just keep asking you questions until I find it. Page 19. Mr. Walsh showed you that he was having a hard time sleeping, correct?
Yes.
He said he was having a hard time thinking, correct?
Yes.
He told you that, and this is on January 5th, he told you, I didn't sleep well last night.
Yes.
He told you, hopefully he tried to get some sleep that night, January 5th.
I don't recall that portion.
All right. And at one point, and now your rank now is what?
Sergeant.
So start to call you Detective Sergeant Schmidt. At one point at the beginning of this interview, you in fact stated that you were getting distracted.
Which interview? I'm sorry.
January 5th. January 5th.
Yes.
And that distraction, once again, was the result of all this background noise and the dog barking and things like that.
Yes.
I want to jump to this email that was introduced into evidence regarding Richard Walker. When did you first come into possession of that email?
It was sent to me with the timestamp on the email. I believe it was early morning hours of the 7th.
Okay. You knew nothing about Richard Walker and this email before you received it?
Correct.
And once you received it, did you conduct some kind of investigation?
I notified my supervisors that I had received it.
When you refer during this testimony regarding this motion, when you refer to supervisors, are you referring to Cohasset Police Department supervisors? Are you referring to Mass State Police?
Cohasset Police Supervisor.
Okay, and who would that be?
Detective Lieutenant Lopes.
Lopes.
Yes.
So Detective Lieutenant Lopes was your supervisor?
Correct.
Okay. So did you talk to Mr. Walsh on January 5th and ask him questions then about this Richard Walker email? And I gather the answer is no, correct?
What was
On
the date?
January 5th.
What was the date?
January 5th.
Okay.
Not on the 5th.
And you first asked him questions on January 7th, correct?
Trooper Chico did.
Okay, were you present?
I was.
And did you ask to look at his phone to see if he had any text messages or anything from Richard Walker?
Not specific to Richard Walker.
Okay. And that was the end of that conversation, basically, on January 7th regarding Richard Walker.
Yes.
You testified on direct examination that during the January 5th interview, at some point, Trooper Chico asked if he could look at the contents of Mr. Walsh's phone.
Yes.
When he made that request, he being Trooper Chico, he didn't make any other request at that time to look at any iPad, correct?
Correct.
And he didn't make any type of request to look at anything like a MacBook or anything of that sort, correct?
Correct.
And when you testified on direct examination that Trooper DeChico said our words to the effect of we don't want to download the entire contents. You were talking about the entire contents of the cell phone? It was explained to Mr. Walsh, though, at that point, wasn't it, that what you were looking for, and when I say you, I'm talking about you and Trooper DeChico and people who were involved in this January 5th interview. You specifically told Mr. Walsh at that time that you wanted to look at information to try to understand honor.
Yes.
And you specifically said in that same sentence, and when I apologize, Trooper DeChico specifically said, look through your phone and consent to us downloading your phone and seeing some of the communications between you and her, correct?
Correct.
And her meaning Anna Walsh.
Yes.
And then you referred to on direct examination to the use of tone. Trooper DeChico said something about her tone, correct?
Yes.
Now, Sergeant Schmidt, fair to say, isn't it, that when Mr. Walsh is being told we want to look at the tone, I mean, what that references, isn't it, is to see if whatever communications you might find on the phone, if they were communications that showed some anger or some happiness or some argument or something like that, correct?
Correct.
And so you wanted to see if the communications that you were talking to Mr. Walsh about at that moment, if they indicated something like any arguing going on between the two, or in fact the opposite. If the communications that they were talking to Mr. Walsh about were affectionate and showed no signs of arguing. That's fair to say, isn't it?
Yes.
And Trooper DeChico then went further and said, yeah, we want to look at things like if there are things that were sent and received on your phone, correct?
Yes.
Sent and received, and that is in the context of communication.
Yes.
Now, then this request of Mr. Walsh goes on, and Trooper DeChico then says, or asks Mr. Walsh, it'd be helpful and we can create a permanent timeline of the events of the 1st, the 31st, and the 1st, and maybe get a better insight into Anna, correct?
Yes.
Mr. Walsh was asked, are you okay with that, correct?
I don't explicitly remember that part.
Do you remember Mr. Walsh saying anything of the sort, like, just to be clear, you want to download everything on my phone?
Yes.
So it's fair to say that the first time Trooper DeChico mentioned downloading all the contents of the phone, Mr. Walsh began to ask questions about all the content? It's fair to say that, isn't it?
Correct.
At no time in this exchange that we just discussed in this cross-examination, this exchange that occurred on January 5th, when the subject was first brought up to look through Mr. Walsh's phone, there was no conversation or request to look at anything like location data, was it?
No.
You never said, and Trooper DeChico never asked if he could look at the phone contents for anything like search history or anything of the sort, correct?
Correct.
In fact, the only subject matter, the only characterization of the subject matter that Trooper DeChico talked about and asked Mr. Walsh about used the word communications, correct?
I think I'd have to refer to the transcript to make a definitive agreement with that.
Right? By the way, Judge, if I may, I apologize. I'd like to inquire if Trooper DeChico is in fact going to testify. I thought we were told he was, but I note today we weren't.
Well, we'll get to the,
I don't intend to call.
Then it's fair to say, isn't it, that when Mr. Walsh asked about the entire contents, he was told by Trooper DeChico that we will download, with the extraction, we'll download all the contents to your phone, yes, right?
Yes.
Trooper DeChico never stated that they were going to review or analyze or look at the entire contents of his phone, did he?
Correct.
And then Mr. Walsh said something to the effect of, that's a lot.
Yes.
And then it's fair to say, isn't it, that you said something to the effect of, well, what we're focusing on is, well, we're interested in, yes, it downloads everything. This is you talking. But what we're interested in is locating Anna and finding the information specifically in there that would help us do that. The Anna specific content, correct?
Yes.
And in that statement you made to Mr. Walsh, you never said anything, you, Sergeant Schmidt, you never said anything about looking at search history or location data or anything of the sort, correct?
Correct.
And Mr. Walsh then once again said something to the effect of, well, that's a huge amount of data.
Yes.
He was asked about what his concern was, correct?
Yes.
And he actually first responded, I don't know. Correct?
I don't recall that.
Do you recall him being asked, right? Do you recall him being asked during this particular part of the January 5th, 2023 interview that he was asked, well, are there other legal issues? If you remember that. And if you don't, it's fine.
Trooper Chico did say that.
He asked him that.
He asked if it was the other legal issues.
And do you recall what Mr. Walsh responded?
In the affirmative.
He said that's one of them, correct? And if you don't remember, I don't want to put words in your mouth. If you don't remember, that's fine.
Correct. Yeah. Excuse me. I don't remember that exact exchange.
Okay. May I approach you on?
Yes.
Page 40, 15. Just going to show you line starting with line 13.
13.
What's the page number, Counsel?
Yes, page number
41.
I was just about to say that. I was reading the box.
I'm still reading, sorry.
Having read that, does that refresh your memory?
It does.
And it refreshes your memory that at some point, Trooper DeChico said, in fact, is it your other legal issues? And Mr. Welch said, that's one of them.
Yes.
And in fact, while Mr. Welch said, I'm willing to do anything, that his only request was basically to talk, you wanted to first talk to Tracy Minor, correct?
Correct.
Was that the first time, Sergeant Schmidt, that you became aware of the fact that Mr. Walsh was represented by counsel?
No.
When did you first learn that he was represented by counsel?
The interview on the 4th.
Were you provided contact information on January 4th of 2023 of Mr. Walsh's attorney?
No.
Did you ask for it?
No.
Did you learn about Mr. Walsh being represented by counsel through Mr. Walsh or some other source?
Mr. Walsh.
So when you learned that he was represented by counsel, Sergeant, did you pause and consider reaching out to his counsel instead of continuing to ask him questions?
At what point in time?
On January 4th, when you said you first learned about him being represented by Tracy Minor?
No.
But on January 5th, when he told you his only request would be because Tracy Minor called me today about what's going on, you asked him, who is that?
Correct.
And that was on January 5th.
Correct.
So even though you asked Mr. Walsh on January 5th, who is that, when he used the name Tracy Minor, you're telling us today that you learned about Tracy Minor representing Mr. Walsh on January 4th.
No. If I may explain.
Sure.
Mr. Walsh related that he had an attorney on the 4th. However, she was not named I learned about the name on the 5th during that second interview.
Okay. But you did learn that he was represented by counsel on the 4th, is what your testimony is here today, then.
Yes.
Is that exchange, when you learned about Mr. Walsh being represented by counsel on January 4th, is that contained in the January 4th interview?
I don't recall.
Well, were there conversations other than with Patrol Officer Lawrence with Mr. Walsh on January 4th that contain statements that don't appear in the interview transcript or in any of the reports?
Yes.
And have you ever been asked to reduce to writing statements of Mr. Walsh that otherwise don't appear in your reports or Lawrence's reports or in the January 4th transcript of your conversations with him?
No.
What other statements can you tell this court about that Mr. Walsh made to you on January 4th that did not find their way into any report or into any transcript?
There's conversations about the house and rental property when we did the walkthroughs of the premises.
All right. Anything else that you recall?
Not at the moment.
All right. It's fair to say then that you remember of any other statements that do not appear in reports or in the transcript. Those were not statements that included Mr. Walsh saying, you know, you can look at the entire contents of my phone, you can look at anything you want, or words to that effect, correct?
Correct.
By the way, Sergeant Schmidt, did you ever have any conversations with a district attorney named Lynn Beelan about this case?
I don't recall any.
All right. Do you know who Assistant District Attorney Lynn Beelan was or is?
Yes.
Okay. Have you interacted with her in other Norfolk County cases?
No.
So your conversations with Assistant District Attorney Beelan would be limited to this particular case or this investigation?
I don't recall any communications with her.
Okay. How about conversations?
Related to this case, no.
Okay. So I guess it's fair to say that you never had any conversations with Assistant District Attorney Lynn Beelan regarding any agreement to search any devices, correct?
Correct.
Now, Mr. Walsh made it very clear to you during this question and answer during the interview on January 5th that he wanted to talk and needed to talk to his attorney, Tracy Myers, correct?
Yes.
Minor, correct?
Yes.
And he made it very clear that he had to talk to his attorney, Tracy Minor, before he agreed to anything about turning over his phone, correct?
Correct.
And once again, that discussion, when I just limited it to his phone, his iPhone, this discussion about talking to Tracy Minor didn't include any reference to searching any iPad or iPads or MacBooks, correct?
Not that he discussed with me.
So I'll return to the subject matter, but what I want to ask you, Sergeant Schmidt, is this. When you were there present with Trooper DeChico and you're interviewing Mr. Walsh on January 5th, and now you've already interviewed him earlier in the day before in the evening, as a police officer with training and experience, you would in fact be interested in looking at communications between Mr. Walsh and the missing spouse, correct?
Yes.
And it's fair to say, isn't it, that you'd also be interested in seeing, if you could, any communications that Mr. Walsh attempted to have with Anna Walsh after January 1st, correct?
Yes.
And you would be interested in looking for any communications of Anna Walsh attempting to contact her husband, Mr. Walsh, after January 1st, wouldn't you?
Yes.
And you would be interested, wouldn't you, in looking at communications that Mr. Walsh made to anyone after January 1st regarding the whereabouts of his wife, correct?
Can you just describe that one more time? I'm sorry.
You would be interested in looking at communications of Mr. Walsh trying to talk to others and inquire about the whereabouts of his wife, Anna Walsh.
Yes.
And in fact, Mr. Walsh told you, didn't he, that he had first reached out to Anna Walsh and tried to text her when he when his phone was found, correct?
Correct.
Now, when you were asked questions on direct examination about this phone, his phone being lost, you are aware of the fact, aren't you, that the phone was found by one of his young children, correct?
Correct.
And in fact, it was found after this nanny, I think you referred to her as Robin,
Robin.
after she had searched trash barrels and things looking for that phone, correct?
Yes.
And one of the reasons they were looking in trash barrels is because that had happened before, correct?
Correct.
The kids or one or more of Mr. Walsh's children had taken his phone or Anna's phone and put it in a trash can and hid it, correct?
Correct.
So getting back to your experience as a police officer and an investigator, it's fair to say, isn't it, that there would be interest in looking at communications from Mr. Walsh, not just on December 31st of 2022 and January 1st of 2023, but communications that went and extended past the first, possibly the second, correct?
Yes.
Now, returning now to the specifics of the January 5th interview. One of the things that Mr. Walsh told you when you were asking about downloading the contents of his phone was, aside from there was an enormous amount of information and things like that, he said that he needed to talk to Tracy Minor, his attorney, to see if she might say, can we just do the information that you're asking for, correct?
Yes.
And up to this point, when that statement was made by Mr. Walsh, the only subject matter that had been discussed with him, either through you or Trooper DeChico, was communications, correct?
We talked about downloading all the contents of the phone and communications to set the tone.
Right, but I understand that. But once again, just going back to some earlier direct and cross-examination, when the comment was made, yes, we want to download the entire contents of the phone, either you or Trooper DeChico then immediately said, but really all we're looking for is information about Anna Walsh. And once again, you talked about communications, correct?
Yes.
So even if in the context of we want to download the entire contents of your phone, in the same context of that statement, it was made, we're looking for communications, correct?
Yes.
And we're looking for communications and Anna's tone, correct?
Yes.
Now, was there some explanation to Mr. Walsh at this point in the January 5th interview where Trooper DeChico starts telling Mr. Walsh something about your concerns? I think we need a search warrant for that information to be used against you. Do you remember that?
I do.
Now, can you tell the court why that was made at that time when Mr. Walsh was informing both you and Trooper DeChico that he had concerns about having you download all this information?
Objection.
Sustained.
Well, were you trying to convince Mr. Walsh that whatever you found on the phone would not be used against him?
No.
Then what was the purpose of telling him that you would need to have a search warrant?
Objection.
Sustained. He didn't say it. The other guy did.
He didn't say it.
This witness didn't say it. How can he know what the other witness's intention was? Right?
It's objection. He didn't say it.
He's hearing it just like everybody else, unless I've got the facts wrong. He's not the speaker. You have to ask the speaker what his intention was.
Okay, let me ask you. I understand.
That's why I'm sustaining the objection. Next question.
Let me ask you this. Do you know why Trooper DeChico at that moment in time made that comment about search warrants?
No.
Did you ever ask
No.
Trooper DeChico about that?
I did not.
Was it confusing to you?
No.
But you don't know why you asked it?
Correct.
Mr. Walshe did tell you that he used his phone for work, didn't he?
Yes.
And he did tell you words to the effect of he was concerned about how long you might have to have his phone, correct?
Yes.
And then he was informed that, oh, they have a mobile unit, maybe they can come out to your house, correct?
Yes.
And his response to that was great, wasn't it?
Correct.
So it's fair to say that Mr. Walshe was told that since he had concerns about how long they might have his phone, they could actually come out to his house and conduct extraction at his home with a mobile unit, correct?
Correct.
And do you know, Sergeant Schmidt, if in fact they brought a mobile unit out to Mr. Walsh's home on January 6th?
Not to my knowledge.
And then Mr. Walshe tells both you and Trooper DeChico that his only request is to talk to Tracy, his attorney, and to let her know and to give her his risk exposure, right?
Correct.
So it's fair to say that based on what you were hearing Mr. Walshe say, it was clear to you, wasn't it, Sergeant Schmidt, that he was not going to agree to turn over his phone or have it reviewed unless and until he talked to Tracy Minor. Objection.
Well, let me have that one.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? Just so I have it clear.
Sure. Probably wasn't a very articulate question. That it was clear to you, wasn't it, based on the responses that Mr. Walshe was giving to both you and Trooper DeChico, that he was not going to agree to either turn over his phone or to have you look at the communications without first talking to his attorney, Tracy Minor.
Yes.
At this point in the January 5th interview, is it fair to say that you, Sergeant Schmidt, you begin to interject and say, just so you're aware, if any peace of mind, we don't have a crime.
Yes, I did say that.
And we're not investigating a crime. This is a missing person.
Correct.
Can you tell the court why you, Sergeant Schmidt, made those statements at that time to Mr. Walshe?
It was the truth.
And why was it? What was the significance to you of making those statements?
He wasn't the subject of an investigation. We were there as a community caretaking function to assist in finding a missing person.
All right. So once again, Sergeant Smith, let me ask you this. Was that statement that you made to Mr. Walshe at that time, was that an effort to reassure him that what you found, if you found anything on the phone, that it couldn't be used against him without a search warrant? Was that you suggesting that to Mr. Walshe?
No, I wasn't thinking like that during that conversation.
Were you trying to reassure him that whatever you found on the phone, you, Sergeant Schmidt, would not intend to use it against him?
I was trying to tell him exactly why we were there.
Now, so at this point, after it became clear that Mr. Walshe was asking to talk to his attorney, Tracy Minor, before he made any agreements regarding his phone, then the subject matter of the inquiry on January 5th changed, didn't it? You started asking other questions about relative to your investigation. Correct?
Yes.
It's fair to say that during this January 5th interview that you were present for, that you never asked Mr. Walshe anything about search histories or anything of the sort that might be on his phone, correct?
Correct.
And you never asked him anything about what is referred to as what's referred to as location data, correct?
Correct.
Did you ever see? I just have a moment, Judge. Let me take a cough syrup.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. Sorry about that. You were asking questions about, I'm going to jump ahead and come back to January 5th, but you were asking questions about the January 7th interview you were present for, correct?
Yes.
In the January 7th interview, for the first time, Mr. Walsh was told, you know, it's important for us to create a timeline for you to avoid suspicion, correct? Words to that effect?
Yes.
That statement about creating a timeline to avoid suspicion being placed on Mr. Walsh, that was first made on January 7th, correct?
Yes.
And that was the evening of January 7th, correct?
The interview?
Yes.
No.
Okay. It was, what time was the January 7th interview?
About 2 p.m.
Okay. Afternoon.
Afternoon.
And it went on for quite some time.
About 2 hours.
And up to that point, on January 5th, it was never suggested that you needed to establish some kind of timeline to avoid suspicion, was it? That subject matter never came up on January 5th.
Correct.
It never came up on January 4th, correct?
Correct.
And when that suggestion was first made to Mr. Walsh on January 7th, the devices had already been turned over, correct?
This is the 7th?
Yes.
Yes.
And in fact, when that statement was made to Mr. Walsh on January 7th, the devices had actually already been returned to Mr. Walsh, correct?
Yes.
And in fact, when that statement was made to Mr. Walsh on January 7th, what's been referred to as an agreement as to what could be searched on the devices that had already been reached, correct?
To my understanding.
Okay, because when you say to my understanding, it's because you weren't involved in those quote negotiations, were you?
Correct.
Did you ever see an email exchange between Assistant District Attorney Lynn Beelan and Attorney Tracy Minor?
Not at the time.
Not at the time.
Not at the time. I may have seen it since, but not at the time.
Okay, at the time, when you say not at the time, we're talking about up to at least January 7th of 2023.
Correct.
And so it's fair to say that, is it fair to say, Sergeant, that on January 7th, when that was made, that comment about coming up with a timeline to avoid suspicion, you had no idea if that subject matter was included in the so-called agreement, correct?
Correct.
All you know is that that subject matter of coming up with a timeline to avoid suspicion was first made and broached on January 7th, 2023.
Yes.
Did you have any conversation on January 5th of 2023 about one of the children's iPads being broken or not working correct?
On the 5th. I don't recall.
Were you present at the house, Mr. Walsh's house, on January 6th of 2023?
At the moment, I don't recall specifically being there Friday the 6th.
You do or do not?
I do not.
It's fair to say you didn't write any report about being present on January 6th, correct? Being present on January 6th.
I don't recall writing a report about being present on January 6th, the 5th. Excuse me, Friday the 6th.
You didn't write a report.
I don't remember writing a report about that.
So is it fair to say that you weren't involved in all the searches that were going on January 6th at Mr. Walsh's home?
I was.
Oh, I see. So do you now remember being present on January 6th?
I was involved in the searching at the command post down the street.
Okay, but not at the home.
Correct.
Okay, fine. Let me ask you this, Sergeant Schmidt. How long had you been a detective with Cohasset Police Department? Up to January of 2023.
About 8 years.
And it's fair to say in those 8 years, you might engage to try to perhaps get someone's consent to turn over a device, correct?
Yes.
And sometimes those devices might include a cell phone or search of a car or anything like that, correct?
Correct.
Is it fair to say that Cohasset Police Department has a form that might be entitled consent to search or anything like that?
Yes.
And the reason for using a form like that, consent to search, is to make sure that there is a record evidence that the person you're asking for consent from, that they give their consent voluntarily?
Yes.
And you have a document that reflects that, correct?
Correct.
And in that document of consent to search, it'd be fair to say that you would also include what the parameters of the search is going to be, correct?
Yes.
And you do that because you don't want there to be any confusion down the road about what the person agreed to and what the person didn't agree to, correct?
Correct.
And one of the reasons you don't want that problem to arise is because you don't want your investigation, in whatever case those are, you don't want your investigation to be compromised and questioned whether that person actually gave their voluntary consent, correct?
Correct.
Have you ever seen in this case whether there was ever a consent to search any device used by either yourself, Cohasset Police Department, or the Mass State Police?
You asking about a form?
Yeah.
I did not see a form.
Have you ever worked with the Mass State Police in conjunction with any other case where you've seen them use a consent to search form?
I don't recall a specific investigation.
And specific to this case, though, and the consent to search, it's fair to say you didn't have any conversations with Attorney Tracy Minor. I don't know why I keep saying the name wrong. Tracy Minor, regarding Mr. Walsh consenting to any search.
Correct.
When you were talking and Trooper DeChico was talking and asking Mr. Walsh questions on January 5th, we all agree that the only subject matter that was referenced specifically was, quote, communications, correct?
Yes.
And when you use that word communication, you are, in fact, is it fair to say you're talking about things like text messages?
Yes.
And maybe voicemails?
Yes.
Maybe emails?
Yes.
And you're really, when you use that word communication, you're just using it in its common parlance, correct? Communication, discussions between one person and another person are persons, correct?
I'd say that just the sharing of information is communication.
Okay. Between two people.
People.
Okay. When you were asked questions on direct examination about someone by the name of Abdullah coming to the house, did you conduct any further investigation of this person named Abdullah?
Further from that moment,
Yes.
I did not.
Okay. Is it fair to say, Sergeant Schmidt, that in the January 5th interview that you participated in of Mr. Walsh, that the phrase, quote, marital privilege was never used?
I don't recall it being used.
Okay. And Is it fair to say, Detective Schmidt, that during the entire interview of January 5th, the only dates that were discussed in your presence during this interview was December 31st, January 1st, and in the days thereafter, words to that effect, correct? Do you recall, Sergeant Schmidt, if anything was referenced in that January 5th interview about looking at data back to December 25th of 2022?
I don't recall that in the interview.
I just have a brief moment. That's all I have, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you. Any redirect?
A few, Your Honor. What was done to investigate the Richard Walker email?
The forensic specialists of the state police conducted a search warrant for Google and the records they hold to look into that email address.
And the Richard Walker email, just right, when did that come to you again?
The morning of the 7th.
And also, sir, when you were asked about Abdullah on cross-examination, did you ever have the opportunity to interview that individual?
I did.
When?
I believe it was the 5th.
And during the interview of January 5th, what difficulty did you have hearing the defendant when you were discussing looking through or downloading his phone?
None.
And in addition to discussing the tone and communications, what was discussed as far as timeline when looking through his phone?
It would help investigators establish a permanent timeline.
And sir, you were asked questions about communications when in digital devices. What do you consider an online chat via a web page?
Communication.
What did the defendant tell you as far as? May I have a moment, Your Honor?
Yes.
What was Attorney Minor representing the defendant for when you were discussing her initially?
Federal investigation.
And when you were there, what involvement did you have with this federal investigation? You interviewed the defendant on these times.
None.
And so why were you interviewing the defendant on these days?
To find a missing person, Anna Walsh.
What knowledge did you have about the federal investigation when you went to interview him?
Or what he had told me.
One more moment, Your Honor.
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor. On the car, sir, when you were asked about, he said it was in the plastic sheet was in the trash. Did you see the plastic sheet?
No.
And what did you notice as far as any difference in the car when you looked at it?
There were like vacuum, what I would assume were vacuum marks. Like if you have the different swipes on the carpet.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Any recross?
Brief. You never used the word in the context of communications in asking Mr. Walsh questions, something about online chat and web page, did you?
During the interview?
Yes.
No.
What do you mean by that?
I don't understand the question.
You were asked just now on redirect if you considered communications, online chat, and web pages, and your answer was yes.
Yes.
What are you referring to?
You'd be communicating and sharing information between people through an online chat function on a website.
Okay. In all the discussions you had with Mr. Walsh based on grounded in January 4th, January 5th, and even on January 7th, there was no discussion about online chats using a particular web page, was there?
Not a particular web page, but the JetBlue specifically.
And you went to JetBlue. Did you go to JetBlue and talk to them about information relative to Anna Walsh?
I did not.
Do you know who did?
Initially, patrol units had requested the state police assigned to Logan Airport to coordinate with JetBlue to see if there were any travel records.
Isn't it fair to say then that with regards specifically to any web chat, chat on a web page, that the Mass State Police learned that there was nothing communicated between Anna Walshe and JetBlue on or around December 31st, January 1st, or thereafter?
Not that I'm aware of.
That's all I have.
All right, the witness may step down. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, sir. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Sir, could you state your name and spell your first and last name, please?
Yes, sir. My name is Yuri Buchanan, spelled Y-U-R-I-Y, last of B-U-K-H-E-N-I-K.
Where do you work, sir?
I work for the Massachusetts State Police, currently assigned to the Norfolk District Attorney's Office.
How long have you been with Massachusetts Police?
I graduated the academy March of 2012,
And how long have you been attached to the detectives unit with the District Attorney's Office?
10 years.
And what is your current rank?
I'm a sergeant
And how long have you been a sergeant within that unit?
since December of 2021.
So I'm going to ask some questions now about January 5th of 2023, Thursday. That day, did you have the opportunity to be dispatched to Cohasset?
Yes.
Why were you dispatched to Cohasset?
Cohasset police detectives reached out to our office requesting assistance in investigating a missing person case.
What was the name of the person you researched that you were asked to assist help find?
The person's name was Anna Walshe.
About what time did you get to Cohasset PD that day?
It was in the late afternoon. I would say approximately 4:45 or so.
And did anyone else besides you, that's a member of the State Police Detectives Unit with the Norfolk District Attorney's Office, respond to Cohasset that evening?
Yes,
Who else?
Trooper DeChico.
And once Trooper DeChico and you were at the Cohasset PD, who did you have the opportunity to speak with?
I spoke with Detective Harrison Schmidt of Cohasset PD.
And what was the purpose of this meeting with Detective Schmidt?
He gave us an update on his investigation into the missing person, shared the details of that he's learned since he was involved.
Did you have the opportunity to review anything in addition to having the conversation with Detective Schmidt?
Yes, I was able to review an audio recording of Brian Walsh's interview.
And after having this meeting and reviewing the recording, what did you have the opportunity to do next in your investigation?
After doing the review of the recording and being updated on all the information that Cohasset PD had at the time, myself, Trooper DeChico, Detective Schmidt, Detective Lieutenant Lopes, and Sergeant Hunt proceeded to 516 Chief Justice Cushing Highway in Cohasset.
About what time did all of you arrive at that address?
I believe it was like 6:30 p.m.
And when you arrived, was anyone leaving?
Yes, there was a female party leaving as we came up to the door.
And do you understand what her relationship was to the family?
I do know, yes.
What is it?
She was the babysitter for the 3 juvenile children.
And after seeing this woman leave the residence, did you discover wwho else was in the residence this time?
Yes.
Who?
Within the residence, we were able to meet with Brian Walshe, his mother, Diana Walshe, and there was 3 juvenile children inside as well.
Now, in that evening, did you have the opportunity to conduct an interview with anyone at the Walshe residence?
Yes, I did.
Who did you initially get the chance to speak with?
Initially, I spoke with Diana Walshe.
And Diana Walshe is Mr. Brian Walsh's mother, correct?
That's correct.
All right. Where was your conversation with Diana Walshe?
My conversation was in the living room area where the couches were situated. There's also a fireplace there. It is right off the kitchen area, separating the dining room area by a staircase set and a wall, I believe.
And was there anyone with you to help conduct this interview?
Yes, Detective Lieutenant Lopes of Cohasset PD was present with me.
Where were the other officers at this point in time that arrived with you?
The other officers were speaking with Brian Walshe in the dining room area portion of the home.
And was anyone else with Mr. Walshe besides those officers, if you know?
Just the 3 officers that arrived.
Where were the children when you initially had the opportunity to speak with Diana Walshe?
Upon her request, the children went upstairs in the main portion of the home to the 2nd floor.
Now, can you explain how the initial conversation, what occurred during your initial conversation with the defendant's mother?
Yes. As we sat down, Diana was asked to provide her date of birth and the phone number. She initially ignored my request and was texting on her phone. A follow-up request was also momentarily not addressed or not answered. She then advised us that she had utmost respect for what we do, but she only has one son, and she was very adamant in helping find Anna.
Did she say what she was doing as far as trying to find Anna?
Yes, she stated that she had Googled, researched a top PI firm, private investigation firm in the DC area, and she had been communicating with the owner / CEO of the company.
And did she give you any contact information for that person?
Yes, she provided both a business line and a private cell phone number for the individual.
Now, did she have the opportunity in this, during this conversation, did she tell you what had occurred with her son's cell phone as far as January 1 and January 2nd?
Yes, during this conversation, she advised us that on January 2nd, Brian Walshe showed up at her home in Swampscott and advised her that his phone was missing and that he needed to use her device to communicate or try to reach Anna.
And did she show you anything from her phone during this part of the conversation?
Yes, she showed me her call logs as well as text message communications that were documented on her device.
And when you saw this, did you see the names of any of, not asking the specific name, but did you see the names of anyone in the family?
Yes, there was a name associated with a juvenile child, the eldest, that was documented as a missed call.
And did you ask her about whose phone number that would be?
Yes, I did.
And what did she explain to you?
She indicated it was the 6-year-old's phone number as saved with the name in her device, and that she had purchased all the three of the juvenile children, cell phones, Apple AirTags, and iPads.
How long were you speaking with Diana Walshe before any of the children returned?
I would estimate it 15 minutes or so.
And which child did you wish to speak to?
The oldest 6-year-old child.
And was that one of the children that returned at this point in time?
Yes, it was.
And did you have the opportunity to speak to the oldest child?
Yes, I did.
Can you explain to us what occurred as far as that conversation?
Initially, when the child presented to our presence, myself and Detective Lieutenant Lopes asked him if he was willing to have us ask him some questions. He shook his head in the affirmative without giving me a verbal response. Diana at that point asked him to sit on her lap while we held the conversation, and we proceeded to ask him some questions.
And what did the oldest child tell you about about what he remembers as the last time he saw his mother, Anna Walshe?
What the child stated was that the last time he saw his mother was surrounded around the events of him hearing a noise, waking up, coming downstairs, and seeing her on the couch underneath his blanket, which he left in the room overnight. She was dressed in a set of pink pajamas with red hearts. And as he was walking by the kitchen island, he saw his iPad. He picked up the iPad, recognized that it was malfunctioning or broken, not working properly, and he requested that his mom, Anna, fix the iPad for him. Once she fixed the iPad, he indicated that Anna went upstairs and changed into her real clothes, returning back downstairs, holding a brown duffel bag, approximately 2 feet in length, and a purse, which he gestured to her wearing on her shoulder. He then stated that her taxi was here. He told her, "I love you." She responded, "I love you more." And she walked out the door to her ride. When asked if he saw the vehicle, saw the headlights of the vehicle, or saw her get into the vehicle, he stated he did not. Those are strictly his speculations. Obviously, he didn't use the word speculation, but.
And how did the conversation end with the oldest child?
I had a question for him asking, does he know where his mom, before I was able to finish that question, Diana became animated with her arms since he was sitting on her lap, flailing her arms in the air. I stopped abruptly, being interrupted by her gesture. She finished the question for me, stating cell phone. The child never answered my intended question, which was if he knew where his mom was, nor the question that Diana finished. He strictly said that mom wanted him to move to DC to be with her. He abruptly got up off of Diana's lap and ran into a different portion of the home.
And did you have any further conversation with the oldest child?
Yes, I did.
And what was that, sir?
At one point, a little bit later on, he returned to the area where myself and Detective Lopes was standing. He opened the door slightly, just wide enough to the basement that he could fit through. He took a step onto the first step going down into the basement. looked back at me, extended his arm, and I told him that he shouldn't go into the basement on his own, realizing there were child locks on the door. Then Diana also opened the door all the way and grabbed his hand and told him not to go down there.
Did any of the children ever give you anything that night?
Yes.
What did they give you?
The eldest 6-year-old boy gave me a little art piece that he rendered.
Now, how long were you in the home speaking to the oldest child and Diana Walshe?
I would estimate it to be 45 minutes, maybe more. It was a lengthy conversation in our presence in the home.
You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Sergeant, we left off, I believe the conversation had come to an end with Diana Walshe and the oldest child. What did you do at the house after that?
I waited for the other officers to finish searching the home for the missing individual, to include the attic.
Why was the attic significant to you?
It had not been searched, and in my experience with other cases, we have had located individuals in crawl spaces and attics.
What types of cases are those, sir?
Death investigations.
And more specific, though, when you found people in crawl spaces like that, have they been as a result of murder, or how so?
They were suicides.
What did you do as far as examining the outside of the home?
I proceeded outside, checked the yard, the property, to include trash cans, looking for Anna's phone. One of the locations that myself, Detective Lieutenant Lopes, Detective Schmidt checked was Brian Walsh's Volvo SUV.
And did you ask anyone permission to check the Volvo?
Yes.
And who did you ask?
Brian Walsh.
And what did he say?
He complied, granted us permission, unlocked the vehicle, and we took a look through the contents of inside.
And what observations did you make of the Volvo?
I located a cell phone device inside the Volvo, located in the center console of the vehicle.
And did you have a conversation with Mr. Walsh about whose cell phone that was?
Yes, I asked him whose device that was, at which time he stated it was his oldest son's
And
phone.
did any of the police officers attempt to verify that?
Yes, Detective Lieutenant Lopes, having been provided with the phone number for that device, called the phone, and the phone rang, verifying that it is, in fact, the 6-year-old's phone.
And where did Detective Lopes get the phone number from?
Our conversation with Diana Walsh, when she showed us the call logs, the phone number was provided.
Do you remember what the phone number was for that device?
Not at the top of my head. I know that it most likely ended at 8028, possibly.
And did you write that anywhere in any of your reports?
Yes, I wrote in my interview report.
Would that, looking at that report, refresh your recollection as to the number?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, may I approach?
You may.
Sergeant, can I ask if you could look at paragraph 9, look at it yourself, and look up to an opportunity to review it? Does that refresh your recollection as to that phone number?
Yes, it does.
What was the phone number, sir?
617 895, I believe.
Oh, should I come back?
Yes, please.
All right, Sergeant. Take one more look. You know where it is. All right, now you want to give it a shot.
Yes, 617 895 8028.
So that phone, was it seized that night?
It was not, no,
Was it left where was it left then?
in the vehicle.
Now, this is Thursday, January 5th. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Now, I'd like to, that night, besides looking in the Volvo, did you find anything else as far as cell phones that night?
No, I did not know.
Okay. Now, I'd like to ask you now some questions about January 6th, Friday.
Yes, sir.
Did you have the opportunity to contact anyone who was representing Mr. Brian Walsh?
Yes, I did.
Who was that you were contacting?
I contacted attorney Tracy Minor.
And how did you, why were you contacting Tracy Minor?
I wanted to communicate with her and get consent for the devices that belong to Brian Walsh and his juvenile children that were being utilized.
And what was your understanding of Tracy Minor's relationship to Mr. Walsh?
My understanding was that Tracy Minor was representing Brian Walsh on a criminal matter out of federal court in Boston.
And when did you start communicating with Attorney Minor?
I began communicating with her in the afternoon hours of January 6th. It was during the 3 o'clock hour, I believe.
And how were you communicating with her?
Via cell phone call communication.
Do you know roughly how many phone calls you had with Attorney Minor?
I had numerous communications, to the best of my estimate, probably three phone calls.
And so what were you asked, what did you ask Attorney Minor in the first conversation, if you remember?
In the first conversation, I identified myself and asked her to provide consent for Brian Walsh's phones. At that point, I had knowledge of at least 2 devices, the one that was missing, that was located on the second, and then the 6-year-old cell phone.
Okay, so to be clear, you say the one that was missing that was located in the second, who did you believe that cell phone belonged to?
Brian Walsh.
And the second device, what was that device that you were concerned about?
That was a device that contacted Diana with a missed call on the call log, and it was also now present inside Brian Walsh's vehicle in the SUV.
What did you say to Attorney Minor that you wished to do to these devices?
I stated that we wish to do a full system extraction, phone dump, more commonly used as a phone, known as a phone dump, of those devices for digital evidence data.
And what reservations did Attorney Minor express to you in the first conversation?
She stated she needed to talk to her client, and she would call me back.
And did you explain anything else you were looking for at this point in time?
No, I did not.
So how long did it take for Attorney Minor to contact you back?
It was somewhere between 5-10 minutes, maybe a little more than 15 minutes, but I did receive a call from her within a short period of time.
And what happened in this next phone call?
She stated that it would be fine to, they would consent to the extractions. They just wanted it documented, and she requested a documentation to be generated.
And was there any limitations on the digital, was there any limitations on what you were allowed to look at?
Yes, it was communicated verbally in our agreement that we were not to look at attorney-client communications prior to December 25th, 2022, and no communications between Anna and Brian Walsh prior to that date as well.
Besides those 2 issues, was there anything else that you were not allowed to look at when you spoke to Attorney Minor?
No.
Did you tell Attorney, and so during this conversation, was there mention of any other devices you wish to look at?
Yes, after we made the agreement for the 2 cell phones mentioned, I also requested that the iPad, which we knew was manipulated by Anna prior to her leaving the home, would also be included within the devices that were consented to.
Did you explain why you wanted to look at that iPad?
I did not know.
Why did you want to look at that iPad?
Well, if Anna manipulated the device and fixed it during the time frame that we were advised, there would be a digital footprint on the device documented that manipulation.
And to be specific, what iPad are you referring to that Anna manipulated?
It was the iPad that the 6-year-old saw on the island as he came downstairs after hearing a noise and waking up, and he picked it up and had his mom fix for him.
Why was that footprint significant to you in your investigation into the disappearance of Anna Walsh?
It would have really narrowed down the timeline of when Anna left the home. It was in a short period of time after the device was manipulated that we were told Anna got dressed and left the home.
Had you had any access to that iPad before this conversation?
No.
And so when you were speaking to the oldest child, he never showed it to you or anything like that?
No, he did not.
Okay. Now, besides the 2 areas that you had agreed upon with Attorney Minor, which was attorney-client contact and anything before December 25th with the defendant and his wife, she asked for what?
A documentation of the agreement that we verbally discussed and agreed upon.
And what did you do to document the agreement?
Communications were had with Norfolk District Attorney, First Assistant Lynn Beelan, and she drafted an email including those specific restrictions of the full data extraction, digital evidence analysis in an email form, and sent it to Attorney Minor and CC'd me on it as well.
What memory do you have of expressing these concerns to First Assistant Beelan at the time?
I do not have a memory of communicating with First Assistant Beelan.
So do you know how First Assistant Beelan knew to send the email?
I do not know.
You may.
Sergeant, do you recognize that document I've just handed you?
Yes, I do.
What is the document I've just handed to you?
It's a copy of a printed out email exchange between Attorney Minor, which I'm CC'd on, and First Assistant Lynn Beelan, and their communications.
And does that, that document, is that after you had had the conversations with Attorney Minor?
Yes, it is.
Your Honor, I'd ask that this be marked as the next exhibit, and I know that I've fouled up the order, but it is in the binder. And I think it was attached to the defense's pleadings as well.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And what number do you think it is?
So on my listing, I have it as Exhibit 13.
Number 13. You know what he's talking about, Attorney Tipton?
Yes.
And do you have any objection to that?
Yeah.
All right.
I feel a little bit better right now that he knows what I'm talking about, which is great. So, Sergeant, if I may ask, could you read the first email into the record of that chain? First is, who is the sender?
The sender is Lynn Beeland.
Who are the recipients?
It is addressed to Tracy Minor, and I am CC'd on that email.
What is the date and time of the email?
The date is January 6th of 2023, and the time is 3:39 p.m.
And can you read the body of the email?
Yes, sir. Attorney Minor, as requested, the Norfolk District Attorney's Office agrees that in the investigation to Anna Walshe, any conversation between the attorney and client Brian Walshe is excluded from the search and examination of Brian Walsh's phone and the minor child's iPad. It is further agreed that any conversation between Brian Walshe and his wife, Anna Walshe, 1 week before she was missing, 12/25/22 and prior, shall be excluded from the search and examination of Brian Walsh's phone and the minor child's iPad. Should you have any questions, please contact me, Lynn Beeland, First Assistant District Attorney, Norfolk County, and the phone number.
And just for the record, when you say minor child, you are putting that in there opposed to reading the child's name.
Yes, sir.
Now, was there a response to that email that's in the chain?
Yes, there is.
What can you read the response, sir?
The response is, we consent to all communications on or after 12/25. If you want to go back further than that, I will have to get you a list of attorneys, as he has used a bunch of them.
And is there a subsequent response to that?
Yes, there is.
And can you read that into the record?
That date is fine, thank you.
And that was sent from whom?
That was sent from Lynn Beeland.
Did you receive any further email communication from Attorney First Assistant Beeland and Minor after that third entry into the email chain?
I have not known.
Now, once that was done, those emails have been exchanged. What did you do as far as trying to get the iPads or trying to get the devices?
I didn't do anything about trying to get the devices.
Why didn't you go get them?
I was tasked with traveling out of state, and I was not going to be present.
Where were you supposed to go as a result of traveling out of state?
I was traveling to Washington, D.C.
Why were you going to Washington, D.C.?
The information we had at the time and the multiple reports of Anna coming from D.C., living in D.C., and having traveled back to D.C., based on my conversation with Diana Walshe, I traveled to D.C. to go find Anna.
Did you meet up with anyone in law enforcement to help you in D.C.?
Yes.
Who?
It was Detective Lieutenant Lopes and 2 troopers from another unit on the state police.
Now, so after the email exchange comes through, who do you inform that you've now received permission from Attorney Minor?
I informed Lieutenant Fanning.
And who is Lieutenant Fanning in the chain of command of the detectives unit?
He was the executive officer at the time in the unit.
And where were you when you informed Lieutenant Fanning?
I was in the command post.
And where was the command post located?
It was located a short distance down the street from 516 Chief Justice Cushing Highway in a shopping plaza parking lot behind the stores.
Now, when you informed Lieutenant Fanning, were you talking to him in person, or was this over the phone, or whatnot?
It was in person.
So at the command post on the late afternoon of Friday, January 6th, how many state troopers were in and around this area at this point in time?
There were dozens and dozens.
And so are you aware of who collected the devices from Brian Walshe on January 6th?
I am not aware now.
So you didn't go to collect the devices?
No, I did not.
When did you return from Washington, D.C.?
It was during the late evening hours of January 8th, or Sunday, I believe, if I'm not mistaken on the date.
And did you have any further conversation with Attorney Minor about the devices after the phone calls and the emails?
No, I did not.
So after the email chain is done, do you have any further phone calls?
No.
And to be specific, with Attorney Minor?
No.
And going back to the second phone call, you told Attorney Minor that you wanted to look at the iPad?
Yes.
And can you just tell us what you told her about wanting to look at the iPad?
The conversation about the extractions, the full data extraction, was in reference to the 2 cell phones. We went into detail about that. Once she consented to those cell phones, I asked if we could also do the same with the iPad.
Was there any concerns about communications on the iPad?
No, there was not.
Did you explain to her whose iPad it was?
Yes, I did.
And when you explained to her, who did you tell was the user of the iPad?
I told her that based on my understanding, it was the 6-year-old juvenile.
And did you tell her did you tell her anything further about the use of the iPad and why you were looking at it?
No, I did not.
One moment, Your Honor.
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor. Nothing further, Your Honor.
Ross.
Okay, that's a perfect place to stop right there, y'all. So what we'll do, I'm working on the thumbnail right now. I'm going to set up the live chat for tonight, and we'll do a recap of jury selection because they've resumed court and all that type of stuff or whatever. And we'll do a rewatch of, oh, let me stretch, oh my goodness, of the plea, change of plea, and then go over and see, like, you know, just read like a little quick excerpt or whatever of what took place. So after that, you know, during that, what they're doing right now, jury selection. So that's it. So for people just tuning in, jury selection started today. Brian took a plea deal to 2 of the charges where he is admitting to lying to cops and disposing of her body. He is still so far claiming innocence about the murder charge. We shall see. A lot could change. Anything could happen with this case. Any moment he could plea out. He could this. There's no telling. So that's where things stand. And we'll see. We'll see what his strategy is with that. Thank you, mods, for being here, keeping the sofa going. Thank you, squad, for being here and watching this with me. And like I said, we're gonna do it'll be a shorter live, but we'll do like a recap, rewatch tonight of what took place. And I will not be here tomorrow. I'm going to be in Raleigh, and then we'll pick back up with finishing this right here, like, you know, the trial prep on Thursday. So that being said, I love y'all. I hope you have a good rest of your day. I will see you later this evening. We will close out with Slow Morrison's Ode to the Sofa. Y'all have a good one. I do appreciate you, and we'll talk soon.
The pillows are fluff thanks to Miss Emily. The couch is wide enough, join the family. It's all love while we laugh at Bert's criminalities. Hey, 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 welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup at hey, hey, hey. Come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Can't roll my damn eyes hard enough. Oh, please. The puppies need me. Ooh, oh please. My body is rejecting none of that fancy credential stuff. I'm just here for the cringe binge. Hey, 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 welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup and hey, hey, hey. Come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Can't roll my damn eyes hard enough. Puppies need me, oh please. My body is rejecting none of that fancy credentialed stuff. I'm just here for the cringe binge. Hey, 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 welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup that hey, hey, hey. Come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Can't roll my damn eyes hard enough.